Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the live stream coverage, news coverage for the Marvel Television and Animation panel at New York Comic-Con. There is an hour until the panel starts. The countdown to the timer is in the top right of the screen. So feel free to come back in an hour if you don't want to wait here an hour with us. But if you do, we are here and we will be here chatting about the panel, about Marvel, while we wait for the panel to start. Hope everyone is having a good day, having a good weekend. If you're at New York Comic-Con, I hope you're having a good time. I am joined by my co-host, Joe.
Hi, everyone.
And, yeah, like I said, we'll just be here talking about the Marvel Television Animation panel, just about Marvel in general, maybe some other stuff here and there if you guys would like. First, before I get to the live chat, I'm just going to say what I expect for this panel. As always, I'm going to say what I say to keep your expectations as low as possible. You know, go into this panel without any expectations. That way, no matter what happens, you'll enjoy and have a good time. That being said, there was an article put out yesterday by Entertainment Weekly, I think, that specifically touched on Wonderman, Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, and X-Men 97 Season 2. I think those are going to be the four main things that are covered at this panel. It's possible they also touch upon something like Vision Quest, or like the Punisher special, or maybe like even a Marvel Zombies Season 2 renewal, which I hope is the case. But I think those are going to be the four main focuses. And I'm not going to be disappointed if we don't get this, but I'm expecting a trailer for Wonderman. Notably, the Wonderman release date now has been pushed to January from December, which I think is a good sign. I think it means that they're more confident in the show. But I think we get a Wonderman trailer to the public. I think the people in attendance of the panel will get footage shown from Daredevil Born Again Season 2, but I don't think we'll get to see it. I would love if I'm wrong, but I think that would overshadow the Wonderman trailer. And I don't think we get any footage from X-97 Season 2 or Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, but it's possible we get some casting news and announcements for new characters for those shows. What are you hoping to see, Joe, from this panel? What's like your number one thing that you want to see?
Honestly, my number one thing, I really enjoyed the first season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. You know, I've recommended it to you countless times. So yeah, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, any news at all, I would be happy with. And I definitely think that we will be getting that, because I'm just really excited for Season 2 of that. And honestly, Season 1 of X-Men 97 was also really, really, really good. So any news about that as well I would be satisfied with that.
Agreed. Yeah, let us know in the chat what you guys want to see, what you guys are looking for. Vote on the poll right now. So on the poll for what you want to see most from this panel, there's four options: the Wonderman trailer, Daredevil Season 2 trailer, X-Men 97 Season 2 news, and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 news. We have 27 votes currently. In last place with 7% of the votes is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 news. Then in second to last place, so in third place, with 26% of the votes is the Wonderman trailer. Then we have tied for first Daredevil Season 2 trailer and X-97 Season 2 news. But let's get into the live chat here while we wait for the panel to begin. Hello there, TF3100. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here. Says, the logo on the tank that's been on the set of Brand New Day has appeared at New York Comic-Con. Yes, it has. I think it's very interesting. It's possible that... So, originally, there was planned to be a Sony Pictures panel later tonight. However, that's not happening anymore. That panel ended up getting canceled. So, it's possible that that logo was just something that was planned to be there because Sony Pictures was going to be at New York Comic-Con. But maybe it's actually a part of other shows. Maybe it's part of Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I don't know. Genuinely, like, obviously we don't know. But it's interesting that they're making that logo public. Because I think in that video that they released online to, like, hype up Brand New Day, didn't they cover the logo or like change the logo to make it look slightly different, I think. Even if they didn't, it's still interesting that they're putting that logo out there now. Thomas Bennett, welcome, nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Says, Matt Pat is voicing Toy Bonnie in FNAF Movie 2. Yes, he is. I saw the first movie. That's about it for my exposure to that franchise. But I'm glad that he has a cameo. I liked his cameo in the first one. I'm glad he had a cameo in the first one. But I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Noel Gonzalez, welcome, nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Says, what Marvel Television, Marvel Nation predictions panel start? Yeah, so the predictions, I think, will be Wonderman trailer. People in attendance will get to see footage from Daredevil Season 2, and we'll get some casting news for X-Men 97 Season 2, and for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. Maybe, I'm hoping for a Marvel Zombie Season 2 renewal announcement. Maybe some casting for Vision Quest at most, or like a rough time period for when it will release. Want a Wonderman trailer? I think a Wonderman trailer is pretty likely. It now is coming out in January, but that's still about 3 months before, which is typically when they release a trailer, the first trailer for a TV show. Box Office Nerd, as I have everything tuning in, says, anyone else just watched the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel? I did not. I wish I did. I wish I could see that. It's cool that they reunited, though. I'm very excited that they had a reunited panel, even though it probably doesn't mean anything, unfortunately. And I asked anything from that panel, and Box Office Nerd replies with, not much, just was fun to watch. When asked about Doomsday, they said they would love to come back, but, quote, don't know anything. Clark also said he's really glad Daredevil's back on. I'm also really glad Daredevil's back on, and I really hope they get to come back in some way, shape, or form. Caleb Williams, as I have everything tuning in, follows up with that, saying, I think it's possible to see something about Vision Quest. I think it's possible to see something about Vision Quest. I don't know... How do I phrase this? I don't think we'll get any kind of footage from Vision Quest, and I also don't think anyone in attendance will get footage from Vision Quest. We don't know when Vision Quest is premiering. I'm gonna guess it premieres sometime between, like, the fall of next year. So sometime between Brand New Day, which is in July, and Doomsday, which is in December. Because of that, it means that they could have one, if not two, other big conventions to show Vision Quest footage. San Diego Comic-Con in July, and D23, which is in either September or late August, early September. I don't remember exactly, but they have two big conventions they can still show Vision Quest footage from. Maybe we get some casting, perhaps, but I'd be excited to see that. There are rumors of an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. connection to Vision Quest. Ada, maybe. I'm fully delusional, I know. No, I saw those rumors too. I would love that to be the case. I mean, it's all about, like, well, not all about. We don't know really what it's about, but a lot of the returning, maybe not even returning, but a lot of the characters are going to be like the, you know, the AIs of the MCU. An Ada appearance would be crazy. I would love that. Fitzsimmons coming in, I would love that as well. I don't think it's likely, though, unfortunately. But I would love it. What about Cloak and Dagger comes back to Marvel Television? Cloak and Dagger possibly come back in Phase 7. I don't know. I mean, Cloak and Dagger is more popular now because of Marvel Rivals. They're more mainstream. Did you watch the Cloak and Dagger show?
I did. My mother and I actually really loved the first season.
Okay.
I would be personally happy to see them come back, just because I think that first season was something that we enjoyed, but I know it's not the most popular show.
Yeah, I watched, I think, the first 2 episodes way back when it first started airing. And I remember liking them. I don't really know why I stopped. I think I just honestly forgot about it. I would love to see those characters show up. I don't think it would be the same actors. And I don't know if it would be as soon as Phase 7. But we also really don't know what the MCU looks like post-Secret Wars. So anything is possible. Sorry, can't make it today. No worries, Ice Cube. No worries. Appreciate you tuning in here, at least for a little bit. Hasm, what's going on, man? As I have here, thanks for tuning in. Says, what's your thoughts on Peacemaker Season 2? So, no spoilers for Peacemaker Season 2 finale, in case someone hasn't seen it yet. I really, really liked it. I like season 2 more than I love season 1. I like season 2 more than season 1. Season 2 was more of a character-driven story. Season 1 was more plot-driven. I prefer character-driven stories, at least for TV, over plot. That doesn't mean I don't like plot-driven stuff, but I just really, really like character-driven stuff, and I think season 2 was very much that and did it really well. I'm seeing a lot of people disappointed with the finale, which I'm not trying to discredit their opinions. They're obviously, you know me, like, I totally respect your opinions, but when you have your expectations set super high that Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, you know, like, all these people are going to show up, and if they do or don't, like, you're setting yourself up for disappointment anyway. The entire season was a character-driven story. Why would that change for the finale, you know? So I thought it was great. I really, really liked it. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I completely agree. I also agree with what you said about people setting themselves up. I didn't expect any of that. I expected a Peacemaker, you know? That's as far as my expectations went, and that's exactly what I got, and I'm very happy with what I got. I think I also agree with Peacemaker season 2, I think, is better than season 1, just for me personally as well. I just found way more enjoyment with the characters and where they went in season 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting possibilities and theories coming out of the finale that I really want to make videos on and talk about once I get everything situated with my new avatar, so I can finally make those animated, the videos, like actual animated videos. I think there'll be a lot of videos coming out of the Peacemaker finale for me. There's a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. Have you seen Marvel Zombies? We have. I really liked it. I really want a season 2. I'm also just a fan of zombie media in general. It was kind of crazy how some of the characters just died, but I mean, fair enough. It is a zombie show, so like that's kind of part of the genre. And I really love the cliffhanger ending, as long as it gets picked up on. But it's also, people were saying too about, even if it doesn't get picked up for season 2 or season 1, if it doesn't get picked up for season 2, it still works as an ending to just be like, oh, well, that universe is just screwed. And it's just a show, one of those shows that doesn't really end on a super happy note. And that's okay. And I think I agree if they don't pick them up for season 2. However, I would love a season 2. They said that season 2 would follow a Bucky storyline. I would also hope maybe some street level characters like Daredevil would show up, or Punisher or something. Maybe even the Fantastic Four or whatnot. I would love a season 2. I know you weren't big on on Marvel Zombies, Joe.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me personally. I just didn't find that much enjoyment from it. But I am a person that doesn't like zombies in general, or zombie stories in general. It just doesn't entertain me as much as it entertains you, I know. So I sort of went into it knowing that it really probably wouldn't be for me, but I still enjoyed some of the moments. A lot of the moments were really cool, and it was awesome to see Blade as Moon Knight. That was fun. That was fun. That was
so cool. But also for me, like, seeing Yelena and Kate I think died before Yelena came up, but regardless, like seeing Kamala, Kate Bishop, and Riri Williams all interact immediately. This is like one of the first things I said to Joe when we were watching it. I said something like, I didn't realize how much I wanted Champions or Young Avengers, whatever, until now. Just seeing them interact was great. I love those characters. They're some of the best characters since Endgame. And I wasn't really as I wasn't never excited for Champions or Young Avengers, not because I didn't like the characters, just because I never read Young Avengers or Champions. So it was more just like, oh yeah, put all the characters together. It'd be cool to see them, but what's the story going to be like? How are they really going to interact? In theory, it'd be cool, but in execution, would they not work together? But they work together, and now I really want to see that Champions project with all of them in it. Ultimate Fusion, nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Says, I think Wonderman will be the only trailer from the panel. To the public, I definitely agree. I think it's possible, and possibly even likely, that people in attendance at the panel itself will see some footage from Daredevil Born Again. But I think us to the public will just see Wonderman. Move my mic. Apologies. Do you think Daredevil will show up in Brand New Day? You know, I don't know. I would love there to be a Daredevil appearance in Brand New Day. I don't know. It just changes every day. There's a rumor one day that he's not, then there's a rumor that he is, and there's a rumor that he's not. I think for the sake of not getting my expectations to go like crazy, I'm gonna say no. But I really want him to. What about you, Joe? What do you think?
I think that story-wise and just like from an outside perspective, it makes sense for him to be in Brand New Day. However, I know that the complications are with the rights and everything like that, and we don't really exactly know what the story in Brand New Day is. So I'm also going to go with no, just because of reasons where I feel like they're just on two different paths and those stories can't exactly connect. But I want to say yes more than anything. Yeah.
We could get an announcement that Marvel Zombies is greenlit for season 2 in this panel. We could, and I really hope we do. I really, really hope we do. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Hey, yo, what's up, Vax? Nice to have you here. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the stream. What do you think of Lee Pace voicing Throg? I have not read the comics for Invincible, so I don't have an opinion one way or the other. From the very, very little I know about Throg, he was a great voice for Ronan the Accuser, so I think it fits. But I don't have many thoughts because I purposefully have not read the comics because I love the show so much and I don't want to get myself spoiled for the future of the show. Do you think the Minecraft movie sequel will have the same hype as the first? No, it definitely won't. And that's a good thing, because while the Minecraft movie was a fun, yeah, was Jack Black hilarious, as always, but, and it's gonna sound so, like, cringe, but, like, the lore of Minecraft is all over the place. I hated that. So, I really hope it's not the same as the first, but it won't be, because it's just, they're trying to replicate something, and that just is never how it works. Which mutants do you think deserve solo projects? It's hard to say, because the mutants, you know, their biggest strength is them together as the X-Men, or, you know, as teams. I think deserves might be the wrong word, but I wouldn't mind. In my head, what makes sense is you make a bunch of special presentations. So a bunch of like 40 to 60 minute special presentations for these characters. Like one for like Cyclops, or one for Gambit, or, you know, whoever. But I don't know about a whole like show or movie for any mutants in particular. What are your thoughts on the Wolverine game trailer? Absolute peak. That game looks so good. I'm so excited for it. People are saying, like, well, how's it going to work with Wolverine because he can't die? I don't care if there's no health bar. It just looks fun as hell to play. Like, I'm not playing a Wolverine game to worry about a health bar and worry about dying. If it's more about, like, landing the combos and the hits rather than avoiding being hit, I'm cool with that, too. But nah, just visually it looks great. I'm so excited for it. What about you, Joe? What are your thoughts on the Wolverine game trailer?
I had been waiting for years. Every state of play, every game showcase, I was always like, you know what? Wolverine's gonna be here. Wolverine's gonna be here, and finally I was right. So I'm over the moon that it's still in development and it's still coming out, and despite everything that happened to Insomniac, it's still good. And honestly, from the trailer, I think it looks amazing. I cannot wait to play it.
Agreed. I think we should get release dates for the seasons of X97 and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That's possible. That's decently possible, actually, because if we think about it, right? Wonderman comes out in January. Then soon after that is probably... Well, you know what? No. let's think about it a little harder. When would this release dates be? Because Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that released in January, right? Of this year?
Yeah, so if what they said is true, then next year would be season 2.
Right. Around the same time in January. How many episodes of Wonderman is there? I think it's more along the lines of...
I believe 8?
Yeah, I want to say 8. There are 8 episodes. I mean, unless they're doing like an all-in-one day sort of thing, or break it up into 2 parts, or 3 parts maybe, I don't know. But then would Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man then be in March? But I thought Daredevil Born Again was going to be in March. Is that pushed to April, May? When is the Punisher special? June then? But then Daredevil would go right into Brand New Day, which is cool. But if he's not in Brand New Day, it makes it more of like just a massive tease than anything. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're going to at least give like months or something. Because that I am starting to get a little... Now that you mention it, I hadn't consciously thought about it, but now that you bring it up, I am very curious about the release dates and if things are going to overlap or not. What would you want from an Insomniac Hulk game? I wouldn't want anything from that. I'm not a Hulk fan, so I would probably play it just because it's an Insomniac Marvel game and their games are pretty good. But I don't have anything I'd want necessarily because I'm just not a Hulk guy. Would that be a game that would excite you?
Anytime someone mentions a game like that, I always think of they used to make movie tie-in games, and that's
Sure.
Classically like X-Men Origins Wolverine. That game is what a lot of people will probably compare the new Wolverine game to. There was an Incredible Hulk one as well, and you could like pick up, I think even people, you could pick up cars and stuff, and it was just fun to just run around as the Hulk destroying everything. Honestly, as far as a Hulk game goes, I would just love the ability, or at least just like the potential to jump someplace and maybe destroy it. You don't necessarily have to hurt people, but just destruction of like certain environments would be really cool to see.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I agree. She-Hulk Season 2, I think there's 0 chance of that. And typically, I'm not someone who says 0 chance. I think there's a 0% chance of She-Hulk Season 2. I just think the show, with the mixed reception to the show, which I'm not saying a lot of the negativity about the show is warranted. It comes from a lot of people who, their opinions shouldn't be taken seriously. But, yeah, I just don't think... And budgetarily, too, having a CGI character on screen like that, I just don't think is what they want to do anymore. It sounds like they want to try to keep costs lower, which is what they should be doing for the first place. But because of that, I don't think She-Hulk Season 2... Maybe an animated, like a full animated show, that could work. But then I think that would be its own show instead of just a straight Season 2. I think it's connected to Born Again as well. I think that's not out of the question. Well, here's the thing, too, I actually forgot to bring up that is very important, I think, today. Before I say this, again, do not get your hopes up. Do not get your expectations up at all. However, every single member of the Defenders is going to be at Comic-Con today other than Finn Jones. And I believe I read that Finn Jones is not there purely because of scheduling conflicts with something. But Mike Coulter is there, plays Luke Cage. Kristen Ritter is there, who plays Jessica Jones. Charlie Cox is there, Daredevil. Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio is there. Deborah Ann Wall also is there. Karen Page. There is a non-zero chance that they officially announce that all the Defenders are coming back. And they bring out Luke Cage, Mike Coulter on stage to announce Luke Cage is coming back. Non-zero chance. Not saying it's likely, but it's possible. What's going on, man? As I have everything tuning in, welcome back. Says, I saw someone on Twitter say a World War Hulk game in the style of God of War, but the gods being Marvel characters, and that sounds like it'd be peak. For a Hulk fan, probably. For me, I think that'd just be another thing where... Because I'm assuming they're thinking like the original God of War games, which are just sort of a beat 'em up sort of... Is that the proper term? Beat 'em up?
Hack and slash.
Hack and slash. Kind of a hack and slash game. I prefer when I play story games, I prefer them to be more along the lines of the 2018 God of War and God of War Ragnarok. But I think for Hulk fans that could be really cool. I think and visually that'd be really cool as well. But it wouldn't be a game for me necessarily. I just want something for Vision Quest in panel, a little news like release date. I could see if they're doing a whole like slate release date for the Marvel Television, Marvel Animation. I think that might show up there. It could also just be like late next year or something. I'd be surprised if they don't touch on Vision Quest at all. I just don't expect it to be heavily focused on. What's your wish list for suits for the Wolverine game? Well, the base suit alone. Thank you, Mohammed, for subscribing. I appreciate it. The base suits alone is great. I'm trying to think of what suits I want to see. Well, I mean, the brown and yellow suit, I definitely want to see. And not that it's a good suit necessarily, but just because it's a thing. The X-Men 2000s movie Wolverine suit, the black leather. I'm trying to think of other suits. The gray and black one? Was that Uncanny X-Men or X-Force? I get them confused sometimes. Do you have a wish list? Do you have any other wish list suits? I know you really like the yellow and brown suit as well.
Yellow and brown suit. If they have that suit, I'm never taking that off. But I would also want that X-Force gray and black because that was one of my favorites in Superhero Squad Online.
Mm-hmm.
I would also want to see his, I don't know exactly, Weapon X, I guess, suit where he just has the wires and thing on his head as well.
Yeah.
I think that would just be fun to have.
I agree. Release date for your Philly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2? Yeah, the more I think about it, since it was brought up, I think that's decently likely. Hoping for Daredevil Born Again Season 2, maybe info on a new Defenders show. I don't think a whole new Defenders show. I think what would happen is Defenders come back in Season 2, and then, I mean, we know Daredevil's continuing. We know there's at minimum a Season 3, hopefully more. I think then maybe we'd get like a Heroes for Hire special presentation maybe. But I don't know if they would get new shows. They would probably appear elsewhere, but I don't know about a whole new show. I wouldn't be opposed to it though. Who do you think is going to be the villain of Man of Tomorrow? See, if you asked me before I watched the Peacemaker finale, I would have said Brainiac. Now, I don't know. I have some other theories, but they're related to what happens in the finale, and I don't want to spoil the finale for people who haven't seen it yet. Joe Fisher, welcome, nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Says, I want to hear more X-97 news, and fingers crossed Moon Knight Season 2. I think we'll definitely get some X-97 news. The whole cast is there, I think. And from what I saw online, there's on the main floor, there's a photo op thing with giant statues of all the characters. And there's a Psylocke statue with them. Psylocke wasn't in Season 1. So maybe like a casting for Psylocke. I think we get some news for X-97 Season 2. Moon Knight Season 2, I don't think is going to be here. I don't think they announced any new shows here, if I'm being honest. It's an hour panel, and there's already a lot of stuff to cover. I'm not a fan of Moon Knight, personally, of the show. It wasn't for me. I know a lot of people, they liked it a lot. I didn't, so I'm not like out there begging for asking for a Season 2, but for the people who I know want a Season 2, I hope there is for them. It's not something that I want to see. Would you want to see a Moon Knight Season 2?
I'm like constantly conflicted because I do love Oscar Isaac, and I think he did bring a great performance. And at the end, I'm curious about that third personality, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I need a whole season in order to explore that personality. That's where I'm on the fence, where it's like it could work really well, but at the same time, I don't know. It's not one that I'm as eager to see as other people are. Right now I'm more interested in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2 than I am in a Moon Knight season 2 personally.
Sure, sure. What do you think of the Doom design? I think the Doctor Doom design is perfect. It looks so good. I mean, part of me like didn't want to see it until I was sitting down in theaters. I knew that was impossible. I can't wait to see it though, like actually in motion in a trailer on the big screen. Like that's gonna be, that's gonna be awesome. I think it looks so good. What are your thoughts on the Doom design? Did you see the Doom design? I sent it in the chat. Okay.
I didn't see that it was there.
Oh, it was a while. It was a couple weeks ago at a convention. Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. I feel like Vision Quest and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2 would be after Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think Vision Quest would. I don't know, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man's in an interesting place because it came out in January. And when is X-Men 97 season 2 going to release? Because I would think that would be later in the year. But they could be front-loading the year. But I would think you would put Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man before Brand New Day at some point to start building up the Spider-Man hype again. And people are, as it's getting closer to Brand New Day, they're more excited for Spider-Man, so they're more likely to watch the Spider-Man show. And then you release X-97 Season 2 leading up to Doomsday when we know the OG X-Men cast is coming back. So people are now in X-Men mode along with the Wolverine game. You know, that's a really great X-Men period if they release X-97 Season 2 there as well. So I would think Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man comes out before, or like earlier in the year, but then where does that leave it with Wonderman and Daredevil? That's the question right now. What's up, Taro? Nice to have you here, man. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good one. What do you think of the Tombstone casting? Oh, it's perfect. There's not much more to say about it other than it's perfect, I don't think. Like, what are your thoughts on the Tombstone casting?
I cannot wait. I agree. I think it's the perfect casting.
Yeah. Like, there's just not much more to say about it. Rumors are Ultron may return. Rumors are Ultron may return. And I'm really looking forward to that if rumors are true. That's going to be hype. Inhumans need to have a comeback. I think Inhumans will be a part of the new soft rebooted world after Secret Wars. It just makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you? You don't have to ever really touch upon them too heavily, but there's no point. I think there's no point in not having them a part of the world. So I think they'll be at least a part of the world. You know? What projects do you think Mephisto's going to show up in next? Well, okay. I don't want to speak for both of us, but I think I can speak for both of us in saying I don't want it to be Brand New Day. But way back, like almost a year ago now, I think, when the first rumor came out about Hulk and Punisher being in Brand New Day, Mephisto was in that rumor with them. It's possible they just got the Hulk and Punisher parts right, and the Mephisto part isn't correct, but can't deny that the other two characters are in the movie, and there's one more character that was along with them. Possible that it's Brand New Day. I'm assuming you don't want it in Brand New Day.
Most definitely not.
Yeah.
Keep him away from Spider-Man. Honestly, I see him coming in like a Ironheart season 2, probably. Most likely. I don't think
there will be an Ironheart season 2.
No, I feel like they were setting that up.
I feel like they were setting it up also, but the show took like 2.5 years to come out. That show was shot either during or right after COVID. And it just came out. Unfortunately, I think there's no season 2, and that cliffhanger might just be... That cliffhanger could be followed up on in like a Strange Academy if they're still doing that, but that rumor's a couple years old now also. I don't know. I don't know what the Mephisto plan is, to be honest, because there's the only project that makes sense. I mean, you know, Doomsday, Secret Wars, based on the story, anybody could make sense, but there's really no announced project right now where it makes sense for Mephisto to show up. I don't know. I don't think there's a season 2 of Ironheart. I don't think it did well enough either. But it was they kind of just put it, like, threw it out there. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't know. This shouldn't be a spoiler since it didn't happen. Did you see that Ryan Reynolds and James Gunn wanted to have Deadpool appear in Peacemaker, but they realized it would be way too difficult? I did see that. I think that would have been really cool if the finale was more of a plot-driven cameo sort of finale, but it wasn't, so I'm glad that it didn't happen, because I think it would have taken away from the character-driven story. But it would have been cool. Because I saw someone say, what could have just been Deadpool as he was going around the universe is looking for a Wolverine. Shinlo, nice to have you, thanks for tuning in, says, my biggest criticism of the Peacemaker finale is that it felt more like an epilogue than a finale. That's fair. That's a fair criticism. However, that's literally what I was expecting. I was saying this to my friends before we watched it. I don't know if you watched Agatha All Along, Shinlo, but Agatha All Along has a very similar last 2 episodes. The second to last episode of Agatha feels like the finale of the show, and then the actual finale of the show feels like the epilogue, which, when you're watching it for the first time, is kind of like, it throws you off a bit. But then, once you understand that, no, the second to last episode was the finale, this last episode is the epilogue, I really appreciate the last 2 episodes of Agatha. I really like Agatha as a whole. I think it's a great show. So I was kind of going into this episode with that in mind, because last week's episode of Peacemaker, the second to last episode, episode 7, that felt like the season finale. So going into this episode, we didn't know what to expect, so my thought was, alright, I'm going to treat this like the Agatha show, and go in assuming it's more of an epilogue than a finale, because the last episode felt like a finale, so I don't think he'll have 2 finale episodes in a row, if that makes sense. And that's what happened, and I really liked it. I had a really great time. I could understand, like, if you didn't have that thought process going in, that it might be it might, like, throw you off, but I really like that. The logo was on Cosmic Marvel? Yes, it is. Yes, I have Cosmic Marvel pulled up for when we go to the, live tweet section, so we'll take a look at it then. I just don't want the, like how Twitter has the tweet limits now. I don't want it to impact how many tweets you get to see during the live panel. But yeah, we will see that shortly. What are your thoughts on Gen V Season 2 so far? I've only seen the first episode. I really did not like the first episode of Season 2 at all. I'm also not a big fan of Season 1, to be fair. But I really did not like Season 2, Episode 1 at all. So I have zero motivation to watch the rest of the season. Our one good friend really liked Season 2, as in telling me to watch it. I'll probably end up watching it as it gets closer to The Boys Season 5. But, yeah, I don't really have strong thoughts about the whole season because I've only seen 1 episode. And I don't think you've seen it at all, correct? Season 2?
I've not seen it at all. I'm waiting for all the episodes to come out so that I can watch it all in one.
It's fair. Marvel Zombies Season 2 is happening. Well, it's not confirmed yet. Could be confirmed today, though. But not confirmed yet. Luis Feliciano, nice to have you tuning in, says, it's official. Spider-Man won't be in Doomsday. I'm honestly disappointed. Thoughts? Well, it's not official. Just a rumor came out from Daniel RPK today, who I think he gets a bad rap from people. I mean, is he 100% correct? No, but no leaker is. I think he gets a bit of a bad rap. That being said, I'm not going to say it's official. It's not official until the movie's actually out. I will say this, though. I'm neither disappointed or happy because we just don't know what the story is. For all we know, it doesn't make sense for Spider-Man to appear in Doomsday. But the movie could come out, and then we could be asking ourselves, why was Spider-Man not in this, you know? But with a movie that's already so probably heavily focused on the Avengers, the new Avengers, the X-Men, you have Wakanda in there as well, and the Fantastic Four, I would love to see Tom Holland Spider-Man right along with them. But I just don't know if they need it. It could also be the case, to bring up what TF3100 says following that up, he says that a Spider-Man will be in Doomsday, we're just not sure which one. A stunt double was on set. So all this right now is just hearsay, right? Because it's all just someone saying this and then someone saying this, right? So we really don't know. But to follow this up, because it connects to my thought that I was going to say, is what could also be happening is they could just have someone else in the Spider-Man suit on set and then have Tom Holland record the voice after. So it's still possible that Spider-Man is in it. But if he's not in it, I'm not disappointed right now. Maybe after the movie comes out, I will be, but right now, I'm not disappointed or happy because we don't know what the story is at all. But what about you, Joe? If Spider-Man's not in Doomsday, at least right now, like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that I would have to see the story of Doomsday, but based on what I think it could be, I could see a world where Spider-Man isn't necessary in that sort of plot. Because it is I feel like the only movie, without saying too much, that has sort of set up Doomsday and Secret Wars has been the Marvels. So really the only ones I expect to see from, I mean, I guess it is still an Avengers movie and he is a past Avenger, but the only ones I would expect to see would be characters from that movie out of anything. So I wouldn't be disappointed if he's not in the movie. I would be disappointed, though, if he's not in Secret Wars. If we were talking about Secret Wars, then it would be different. But Doomsday itself, I think it would be fine if he wasn't in that, personally.
Yeah, I agree. They did my boy Thor so dirty in Zombies, though. I disagree. I'll be straight up, like, I'm not the biggest Thor fan, but I disagree. They showed that he kind of secluded himself after the loss, like after him not killing Thanos, which was very similar to how he reacted after Endgame. And a Wanda at full power, like, I think she solos almost everybody in the MCU. Scarlet Witch is damn powerful, but also if memory serves correct, she didn't like one-shot Thor. It was still a fight because Thor is Thor. I don't know if they did him dirty. Wanda is just freaking powerful. And here's the thing. Wanda has to get nerfed in, like, everything she's in. Wanda is a character who has been nerfed in pretty much every single appearance because she's just so damn powerful. That's just kind of how it is. Jazer Gaming, nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. How's it been? It's been all right. Vision Quest and Wonderman are my most anticipated live-action TV projects. That's fair. I think they're both going to be sleeper hits right now. I mean, mine is definitely Born Again Season 2, but I think Wonderman's really going to surprise people. I think people are sleeping on Wonderman. And Vision Quest is one that, if you bring it up, people are like, yeah, I'm excited for that. But it's not one they're consciously thinking of. Once they get around to it being closer to Vision Quest coming out, I think we'll see a lot more hype for the show. I think it's going to be really good. I honestly think Daredevil will be in Born Again. Punisher already... You mean Brand New Day, I think. Because, yeah, Daredevil will be in Born Again. I think Daredevil will be in Brand New Day. Punisher already is. Brand New Day is supposed to connect to Daredevil Born Again Season 2. And casual Spider-Man fans were already introduced to Daredevil No Way Home. I hope you're right. I want to see Daredevil, but also, we just don't know what the story for this movie is. We don't know the villain. We don't know the story. We don't know anything about... Like, we know more about the story of Doomsday than Spider-Man. We know Doom is the villain. So based off of that, we can infer and make theories. We don't know who the villain is of Spider-Man, so it's really hard to say what the story is going to be, and if that story necessitates Daredevil. I would love Daredevil be in Spider-Man. But if he's not in Brand New Day, but Spider-Man 5 is Spider-Man and Daredevil versus Kingpin, then I'm very okay with Daredevil not being in Brand New Day. But, I mean, your logic makes sense to me. And I'm sure your logic makes sense to Marvel as well. But there's a third party that it probably doesn't make sense to. Catch what I'm saying. Would you rather have special presentations for the mutants or an anthology show? Each episode is about a different mutant. You know, either. They're kind of the same thing in my head. But you could argue that an anthology show, like the finale, would bring them all together. So maybe an anthology show, honestly. I think that'd be cool. Like the 6 to 8 episode anthology show. Each episode is about a different mutant and how they find their way to Xavier's school. I like that. I think an anthology show would be really cool. I think Tobey's Spider-Man is in Doomsday because Daniel RPK has reported about how a Spider-Man will appear in Doomsday. He said Tom won't be in Doomsday as of right now. He did say that, but it could also just mean that Tom isn't in the suit, but it's like a stunt double wearing Tom Holland's Spider-Man suit, and he'll just do his voice in after. There's also a rumor, though, that Tobey Maguire's Earth is one of the Earths in the Incursion, so that he'll show up in Doomsday. I don't know about that. I mean, I think Tobey Maguire definitely shows up in Secret Wars, without a doubt. But Doomsday, I don't know. While I go get a drink, Joe, give your thoughts on if Tobey should be in Doomsday or not.
Okay, so as far as Tobey Maguire goes, we all love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. We all loved his appearance in No Way Home and everything like that. Now, we don't know who Sadie Sink's character is in Brand New Day. However, a rumor that went around. Now, we have no idea how credible or not credible this is. Honestly, her character could be just a completely random civilian, for all we know. But a rumor was that it was Mayday. So, I mean, if something universal is going on there, it could lead into Doomsday, which could mean that he, after the events of Brand New Day, goes into Doomsday looking for answers. And that could be why he's in Doomsday. I could see them setting that up. However, if Sadie Sink's character isn't that, then they would have to set up he's in Doomsday for another reason. And for me, the whole thing with Doomsday is that it's about them finding out what is coming still. What is, Secret Wars is about really that climax battle. And they have to set that up in Doomsday. So I feel like with Doomsday, it's more of a setup rather than it is what you guys are thinking of, where it's all of these characters coming into Doomsday. Now, obviously, Daniel RPK has said that a Spider-Man does show up in it. For all we know, it could be a Man-Spider variant. It could be a Spider-Man, you know what I mean? It could be an unknown Spider-Man that we haven't seen. It could just be a different universe's Spider-Man that just could be there, So it doesn't necessarily have to be one that we've seen or one that we know. It could just be a guy in a suit, honestly, for all we know.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I agree. If Joe Gaming, as Harry Nate tuning in, welcome, says, if Marvel Zombies gets greenlit for season 2, do you think Spider-Man gets chosen as Khonshu's next avatar? I don't, because, I mean, these are zombies, so we saw him rip the heads off zombies, but I'm gonna say I don't just because Spider-Man doesn't kill, and Moon Knight, I think Moon Knights typically do. Could be wrong with that. I don't know if there'll be I mean, in theory, there would be a next avatar, right, of Khonshu? This is more of a question for you. How would you feel about that? What do you think about that?
Honestly, that would be pretty cool.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, the whole he doesn't kill, but in this universe, I feel like he would be less susceptible to that because it's not exactly killing since they're already dead.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of complications would come.
Well, I'm just thinking of the other survivors.
Right.
That he would have to kill potentially.
I mean, if Khonshu is willing to meet Spider-Man halfway, where it's like, I'll only kill zombies,
right?
Then I could see that happening.
Sure.
But that is a very specific, and Khonshu is someone who would really want someone who would be willing to go all the way, but at the same time, I know that his options would be limited. So
yeah, that's a fair point. I think Punisher is in February, Daredevil's March, X-Men will be May or June. Your Flame Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 and Vision Quest will be after Brand New Day and before Doomsday. I disagree. I think Punisher's after Daredevil. I think Daredevil is March, April for sure. And I think X-Men will be before Doomsday, after Brand New Day. I agree with you about Vision Quest. I think Vision Quest is definitely before Doomsday, but after Brand New Day. And I just think Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I think it makes more sense just marketing-wise to have it lead up to Brand New Day instead of after. And same with X-Men. I think it makes sense for it, marketing-wise, for it to lead into Doomsday and have it be so early beforehand. Do you think we'll get Moon Knight Season 2 after Secret Wars? I don't. I just don't think it'll be in Moon Knight Season 2. I think Moon Knight will show up in Midnight Suns and those kind of projects, but I don't know if we'll get a full Season 2. Peacemaker Season 2, you get 6 out of 10. Fair enough. I give it probably like an 8, 8.5 maybe out of 10. But that's fair. That's fair. What would you give Season 2 out of 10, Joe?
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah. But totally respect your opinion, Hasm. Nothing wrong with that. What's up, Tristan? Is it happy? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the stream. Defenders rumored to be in Daredevil Season 2. Yeah, I think there's a non-zero chance they confirm that all the Defenders are back. They've already confirmed Jessica Jones, so it really just is Luke Cage and Iron Fist at this point. And I think there's a non-zero chance they officially confirm that they're back. Because Mike Coulter is there at Comic-Con, and I want to say I read that Finn Jones, who plays Iron Fist, was going to be there, but just couldn't because of a scheduling conflict. Can we get news about the Punisher special presentation? We totally could. We totally could. It's not out of the question at all. For a moment, John Bernthal was supposed to be at New York Comic Con, but had to cancel due to scheduling conflicts, probably with Brand New Day. It's possible. It's possible. At the very least, it's possible we get like a release date. She-Hulk was faithful to one comic book in the 80s, and fans who don't know that hated they seem to think she was ripping off Deadpool, and he was like that before Deadpool. I mean, it's a mix of that. It's a mix of just straight sexism, and it's also a mix of people just didn't like the show. Like, I don't want to discredit the people who genuinely didn't like the show because of people who are just sexist, right? It's not my favorite. I think it's fine. I love the Daredevil episode. And there's another episode that I really liked as well that I'm forgetting. Other than that, though, it was fine. I think she was great. I think Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk was wonderful. But yeah, it was a mix of a lot of things, mixed with the budget that you have to have a She-Hulk, character on screen for a lot of the show. I don't know, doesn't really make sense to me to do a Season 2. I hope people don't hate on Vision Quest in case Ultron is a human played by James Spader and not a robot like any of Ultron. Rumors say Vision will meet Ultron as a regular human. Yeah, but the rumor is also that they'll all be regular humans, at least for a portion of it. So I think because of that, it'll come off as more of like a choice, which it is, that rather than just having a human version, I don't think it'll be hated on just because of that. If it's bad, then people hate on it, and people hate on something anyway because people just love to complain. But I don't think that'll necessarily mean people will hate on it just because it's a human version, The Moon Knight, a lot of people did. I think I'm in the minority there when it comes to not liking Moon Knight, and that's fair enough. Fair enough. A Brand New Day poster was spotted at New York Comic Con. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, there was supposed to be a Sony panel later today that got canceled. So I wonder if they were planning on having anything there. How do you feel that Phase 6 is going to be so small? Like, what, 4 to 5 movies total? For me, it's not about the number of movies. It's more about the quality. So, those 4 or 5 movies being what? Fantastic Four... Is Thunderbolts in Phase 6? Or is that the last Phase 5 movie? I don't remember.
I feel like, yeah, Fantastic Four started the next phase, no?
I think you're right. So that's Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Doomsday, Secret Wars. I mean, that's a pretty... As long as all those movies are as good as they should be, like, that's a pretty banger lineup there. I don't mind it. It's, for me, it's about the quality, not about how many movies or shows. What's up, Morrow? Thanks for tuning in. It's to have you here. I love Daredevil Born Again. Me too. Me too. Wonderman's currently January and Daredevil's March. Yeah, those we know. The other ones we don't know. So that's what we're curious about. The other shows and when they release. Inhumans wasn't a bad show. The budget wasn't there. Both are true. Both are true. The budget wasn't there, but it was a terrible show. In my opinion. I would be surprised if they put Mephisto in Brand New Day because it would rile up a lot of people and it probably wouldn't get shown in China, which is a huge market for Spider-Man. That's a fair point. But they have Punisher in Brand New Day, albeit we don't know what Punisher's logo will look like in Brand New Day, but if they're already going with the Punisher skull logo, I think that's also an issue in China, right? So if they're already all in on that, that might not be a huge issue for Mephisto. Mephisto could be in Doomsday, since Mephisto connects to Doom story in the comics. That's a very good point. With his mother, maybe a cameo appearance. That's a very good point. Because, I mean, we're definitely going to get that Dr. Doom origin vision sequence inside, like, with the Void, right? We're almost definitely getting that. That is actually a very good point I didn't think of. It's very possible that Mephisto shows up in Doomsday with his backstory. That's a very good point. I might be agreeing with you there. In the comics, didn't Spider-Man use Mephisto to heal Aunt May and MJ and he wasn't married anymore? They could use Mephisto to bring Aunt May back somehow. Well, that's why we don't want him to be in Brand New Day. Undoing that stuff from No Way Home. I mean, I think we can all agree that by the end of this new Spider-Man trilogy, MJ is going to be back with Spider-Man and probably have her memories back. But it was kind of hinted at the end that her memories aren't all gone anyway. If they just straight up bring Aunt May back, I think that is a bad move. I think it's a really bad move. I mean, you could probably articulate it better than me, Joe, but what are your thoughts on that?
I think that they sort of did that deal in No Way Home, and they made it so that it was significantly better than when he made that deal with Mephisto in the comics. That deal, we are still feeling the repercussions from that deal today, and people are not happy. So if Mephisto is in there and does do that with Spider-Man, I think it would just... I don't want to see that personally. I really hope that those two characters stay as far away from each other as humanly possible.
I was surprised how good Marvel Zombies was, and I'm okay with the ending, but I'm excited for a season 2. I'm fully with the Jay-Zern. I really like Marvel Zombies. If it doesn't get picked up for a season 2, I think the ending still works as its own thing, but I would love a season 2. I'm with you. Nerd Centric, nice to have you here, man. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Says, I honestly don't mind the Peacemaker Season 2 finale. More character focused while giving us breadcrumbs for the future. I agree. And it was kind of what I was expecting. I mean, was I hoping for some cameos? You know, sure. But the entire season was character focused, and I loved that. That's just my cup of tea. If it's not your cup of tea, that's totally okay. Nothing wrong with that. But something more character focused rather than more plot focused, which was what Season 1 was, is way more my cup of tea. So it just doesn't make sense that the finale would randomly now be way more plot focused and action heavy when the entire season was not. So I'm with you. Do you know when Marvel TV and animation announcements will start being announced? Yeah, so the panel starts in 1 minute. So I'll switch over in a second. And then it takes a couple minutes for the announcements to start because they have to welcome everybody in, make sure everyone's seated, do the housekeeping, like, hi, thank you for being here. No flash photography, all this, like, no recording, all this stuff like that. But that's a good transition to, let's go to the mall. Yeah, let's switch over now to our live Twitter feed here. Where we will get live tweets, live coverage from the Marvel Animation, Marvel Television panel. As news comes out, it might take a second or two for it to actually be posted and covered. But, yeah, so there was we'll look at the shield stuff in a second, but this logo here, this is a logo that on set photos, or actually, let me also share my screen for intro.
Thank you.
Yep. You see that?
It's streaming the Discord.
You see that?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
So this logo was on tanks, on set photos for Spider-Man Brand New Day. However, it didn't have this kind of graffiti up here, and it didn't have this. I don't know about you, maybe I'm just coping, but that kind of looks like King to me. There, you know, K-I-N, but there might be a little bit of a G here. Could also be Kin, right? But I'm not trying to like get in with hopes up about Kingpin in Brand New Day, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. All right, so we got some S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff here. Clark Gregg and some fans saying Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon to the MCU. That's a fair argument. Go after yourself. We're proud of what we did. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Show's great. Quake and Daredevil went to the same orphanage, St. Agnes. Yep. We've known that for a while. Chloe Bennett on the MCU redoing things that were first done in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We did it all better, to be completely honest, because you have to consider the resources we had and the timeline we had. And, I mean, look, straight up, she's not wrong. S.H.I.E.L.D. is just that peak. If you haven't watched S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., do yourself a favor and watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The first season, until it connects to Winter Soldier, it's very, like, episode of the week sort of thing. Once it connects to Winter Soldier, it really starts to become a show. Season 2, I think, is my least favorite season. There's some great stuff with Fitzsimmons, who are my favorite characters in all of television. And then once you get to Season 3, it really hits its stride, gets better and better. Seasons 4 and 5 are some of my favorite seasons of television ever. And Season 6 is like one drop below, but it's still so freaking good. Season 7, for you, those you haven't seen it, there's a bit of a void that you feel, but it's still very good. And then the finale is great, because that void is filled again. I would highly recommend Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. if you have not seen it. But going through the chat, just going to say hi to some people who I haven't shouted out yet. Antonio, Nightshade the Revenant, Billy Ferguson, James Skywalker, Sean Holmes. Who else here? David Cargill, Jude Lehman. Thank you all for tuning in, guys. Dan DeMan, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all being here. The panel, yeah, it's about to start. So, as I said, just give it a couple minutes to start up. And then when the news actually happens, remember, people have to actually type it out and post it. So this is the best we can do without straight up, like, you know, watching a live stream, which they don't have, unfortunately. But let me see. I just want to see if this fills the screen. So there was this clip yesterday, and let's hope this doesn't. I'm gonna turn off the music for a second. Let's hope this doesn't get the stream taken down already. But there was this that was posted yesterday. I have not seen this yet.
The entertainment world is stunned today when internationally celebrated and reclusive
you guys can hear this. Okay.
Von Kovac sprung out of retirement to sign on for his first
So I think this is from Wonderman.
Mr. Von Kovac,
I also have to talk a little bit over it so it doesn't get
thank you for that.
fully copyrighted and whatnot.
Your question is why one more superhero?
This is a very interesting shot.
Everyone is tired of superheroes. Why go see them in the
okay.
cinema? Wonderman spoke to me on.
I thought that was Glenn Powell for a second.
There is an opportunity.
Or is that Kid Wonderman, maybe? Seeing it in theaters for the first time?
To reimagine
Pass Grab 2.
genre of storytelling.
Wait, that's the Jarnpour guy.
have you given any thought about casting?
Wait. I'm gonna turn the volume off so the stream doesn't get whatever. So that you can see the two, Joe, yeah? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was the
That's the Jarnpour guy.
leader from
Oh no,
Baravia?
Baravia, yeah, sorry, the Baravia guy. Yeah. That's so sick. Cash Grab 2, I love that. That's so funny. Let's see if all these settings are correct. Sometimes they're not correct. ISO 800, that's fair. 25 FPS, yeah, all right. 180, okay, cool. It's correct. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, but let's hear.
There
Okay.
is someone else in this teaser that was pretty interesting.
Okay. Is there a specific?
I think it was like the frame like right before the one that you're on.
Is it Ben Kingsley right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Ralph Boner's in this too. If I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Well, he's an actor.
That's funny.
Yeah, Trevor was confirmed a while ago, and I'm excited to see him. And I want to say Ralph Boner's also in it. Someone's getting sprayed with fake blood here. Audition says most definitely a hallway of people auditioning for Wonderman. Screen test. And there's Abdul. So the whole premise of it being like a modern day remake of an old in-universe movie, I love that. I think that's great. I think this shows a lot of potential to be very meta, but in a great way. Like, I know you haven't watched the studio yet, Joe, right?
I have not, but
it's really good.
I did hear a lot of comparisons to this with the studio.
Yeah, like this could be the superhero version of the studio, and I think that'd be really, really cool. So let's take a look at this for a second. These are some really interesting pictures. I mean, that's just these are just from the movies. But we got Captain America from Winter Soldier. I mean, it's us Elevator scene in Winter Soldier, right? I think. Thor from Love and Thunder, Black Panther, and then is that Iron Man? I don't know what that is. A Kree, maybe? And maybe like Avatar? I don't know. But this is really cool. Cool that he's also in the MCU and DCU. I'm living for these MCU and DCU crossovers, like actors that are in both. The Perry White was in Thunderbolts. Like I love that. I want to see more of it. That's awesome. That's really cool. All right, the Marvel TV panel is about to begin, hosted by Brendan Davis, which I think is pretty cool. Good for him. We need that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. revival. Well, I just want them to be in projects. I don't need the whole show to be revived. I just want the characters to come back. Hijack says hi.
Hi, Hijack. Hi, Hijack.
Yeah, I don't need it to be revived necessarily. I just would love for the characters to show up. The movie he is watching is like a Flash going to rip off. I think that's the point. And I love that. I love that. Rafiki, I think the AI poster is a meta thing. There's an AI poster in here? I didn't even notice. It's most definitely a meta thing now, for sure. Oh, here. It might be. It doesn't look AI to me, though. It could be. Okay, so that's from the old Wonderman thing, I guess. So I guess those other pictures... Let's get back to that shot. Might be some, like, old Wonderman reference images that they're looking at. Looks like the White Vision. Here? Kind of. I could see where you're bringing that up from. Just announced, Marvel Animation, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 will swing onto Disney Plus fall 2026. All right, you guys were right. I was wrong. Fall 2026 for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, which I'm guessing means you were also right about X-97 being earlier in the year. Thoughts on that, Joe?
I'm very excited. Fall is a pretty big... Fall's a pretty big year. Or a pretty big month for 2026. That's also when Wolverine comes out.
It is indeed. Also, Clayface is next year in September. Next year's just big regardless for superhero stuff. It's crazy. Agree. Just want Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters to show up and be recognized. Yeah, I'm with you. Veronica, welcome to everything tuning in. Says thanks for going live. Appreciate the info. Of course. I appreciate you all being here. Genuinely, really do. These streams are not what they are without you guys being here, chatting, and interacting. So I genuinely appreciate every single one of you guys in here chatting, watching. It means a lot, and it makes these streams way more fun than they would be otherwise. I was thinking about fall since it makes sense for the projects. Yeah, no, fair enough. I was thinking it makes sense to lead in, but maybe they're thinking the reverse. Maybe they're thinking the hype coming off a Brand New Day will help feed into Brand New Day more. Or, sorry, will help feed into Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man more. Fair enough. Fair enough. I was incorrect. Jason Don, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor is in Wonderman. Also welcome here. Nice. Hey, welcome. Thanks for tuning in, Trevor. Not Trevor. Jason Don. Appreciate it. Are there any plans for Marvel's Ghost Rider to be in Disney's Doomsday and or Secret Wars projects? There's rumors about it. That's all we have to go off of. Just rumors. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. But nothing confirmed. Makes sense, though, as it takes Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man place during the school year. Great back-to-school show to advertise with. That's a fair point. That's a very fair point that I didn't think of. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The Watcher, Supergirl, Spider-Man, Clayface, Lanterns 97, X-Men 97, Born Again, Season 2 is hype. Dude, next year, yeah, it's so stacked. Invincible Season 4, The Boys Season 5. It's like almost too stacked, you know? It's like almost overwhelmingly stacked, but in such a great way. Daredevil will return in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. He will wear the classic red costume this time. Thoughts on that, Joe?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because of how Season 1 ended.
Just give us it in live action, like. Just want to see them together, please.
So, do you think that they're doing this because they can't in live action? So
That's
do you think
my
that kind of confirms that it's not going there.
I don't know about it confirms, but well, there's two ways looking at it. There's one way of looking at it, like how you're saying that it's because they can't do it. But there's also another way of looking at it where stuff that they're doing in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man then comes to live action. The Daredevil black and red suit, Scorpion, Tombstone. So there's like the cope in me wants to say that they're bringing Daredevil back in his red suit, and then they're gonna bring Daredevil in Spider-Man 5. The other part of me though is then that's maybe too much Daredevil in Spider-Man content. But you got to think too then that Spider-Man 5 isn't until 2027 at the earliest, maybe 2028 more likely. Yeah, no. Let me rephrase. 2028 at the earliest, maybe 2029. So there's some time between. I don't know. I just want him to be in live action with Spider-Man as well. Please. Yes, Wonderman got delayed 1 month to January instead of December. Vision Quest would come around the same time as Brand New Day. Well, maybe it's Daredevil, right? Because we have Wonderman in January. So we don't know what the release schedule of that is. Excuse me. And then we have Daredevil Born Again. And we don't know when that is, right? So we don't know. It seems like we're at least getting like seasonal release dates for these. So we'll hopefully have a better idea of when all these shows are releasing by the end of this panel. King Liverpool, Andres Niebles. I definitely pronounced that wrong. I apologize. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome, guys, to have you here. Hello, new here. So you're streaming as updates pop up for NYCC panel. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for tuning in, King. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Do you hope for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider to come back or a new one for the MCU? Well, I want to see Johnny Blaze, and I would love if Gabriel Luna played Robbie Reyes in the MCU. However, I just think he's kind of aged out of the role at this point. So I think they recast Robbie Reyes regardless of if they bring back Chloe Bennett, which I think they will, hopefully. But yeah, as much as I want to see it, I don't think he will. They said they pushed it back just because they don't want it to compete with people rewatching all their Christmas movies during that time. But just like, fair enough, whatever. It's one extra month, you know. Invincible Season 4, yeah, I'm excited for that too. Astroblade 06, nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Says Punisher special presentation announcement. Nothing yet. Right now, we've only gotten stuff on Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but the panel just started, so They might be. It sounds like. Who said it? TF3100 said they showed the trailer. I follow Agent M on Threads. So it sounds like they might have showed a trailer for this, which takes a couple minutes, and then they have to type out the description of the trailer, right? So, yeah, there you go. Venom will appear in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. Okay.
Also makes sense.
So, not to go along with my cope, right?
Yeah.
But if Venom is showing up in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, and the symbiote's still out there in the MCU, are they going to do Venom in the MCU, but it then follows up what I was saying about them doing things in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man before the MCU live action? So does that mean that the Daredevil is still going to be in live action? I'm so coping. But anyway, your thoughts on Venom in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2?
Well, in Season 1, there was this symbiote-like thing, creature. So we assumed that it was the symbiote because it was very much like that. So Venom only really makes sense to be in Season 2.
Fair enough. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 comes out on March, since showrunner said it. Yeah, I saw that. So then it's a thing of how long does that go, and then do you have time? Like, then do you really... Yeah. We'll see. I'm sure they'll talk about the other shows and when they come out as well. The Demon logo for My New Day set photos we've seen at New York Comic Con. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Right here. Right here. And my cope says that says King and might relate to Kingpin, maybe? Please? Please. What I'm in is January now. I'm in a Marvel Fantasy draft thing, and I wanted points from Ben Kingsley's character. You're in a Marvel Fantasy draft thing. That's awesome. Where did you... Like, is there a website for that? That's pretty cool. I feel for you now. I understand. That sucks for your fantasy drafts. I want a Marvel Knights movie. Daredevil, Black Cat, Spider-Man, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punisher, Elektra, Moon Knight, all on screen would be amazing. That would be amazing. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I'm with you. That would be amazing. If you could choose one, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Secret Wars, or Man of Tomorrow. I want to say yours is Brand New Day, but part of me says maybe you go Man of Tomorrow. So I just know how much you love Superman.
Well, which one are you going to go with?
I don't know. For me, it's between Secret Wars and Man of Tomorrow. I think I choose Secret Wars because it's Secret Wars. But I definitely have to think about it for a second. And that's no shade against Brand New Day. It's just, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. Like, I'm so concerned about how they handle Punisher in the movie. We don't know the story or the villain. It's more just comes from concerns of stuff. But yeah, what would you choose?
I would definitely choose unequivocally Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
do love Superman, and I do love. I can't wait for Man of Tomorrow, but it's always gonna be Spider-Man. It's always gonna be Spider-Man. I mean, even if no one is in that movie, I would not be disappointed because I'm just really excited to follow up what they set up in No Way Home with Peter Parker. So, plus, I just can't wait to see that suit in live action swinging on the screen.
Fair enough.
I don't think anything will match my hype for that.
That's so valid. We already had a symbiote in season 1. There you go. There you go. When MCU Spider-Man, quote-unquote, hook up his buddy Daredevil with an Iron Man upgrade armor suit like Daredevil's bulletproof version in the comics? I hope not. But also, I mean, Spider-Man doesn't have those connections anymore, as far as we know. I mean, maybe after Secret Wars or Doomsday. But also, like, he's not buddies with Daredevil. As far as we know, he doesn't know Matt Murdock is Daredevil. There's a lot of... There's a question right now about Spider-Man's connection to other characters in the MCU.
As far as we know, Matt doesn't remember helping Peter with
No
Way Home.
Right. It's a fair point. Also, Jet Trammell has announced Gwen Stacy Spider-Man for season 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, that was announced a little while ago. And what are your thoughts on that, Joe? Refresh our memories for your thoughts on.
That's something that I'm not necessarily excited for. I was hoping for a regular Gwen Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with Spider-Gwen in the Spider-Verse movies because that's sort of what it's all about. But I was really hoping just for like a normal Gwen Stacy, and honestly, I'm really hoping for like a not normal necessarily, but like a classic Mary Jane, because we haven't gotten that in forever, at least as far as the mainstream audience goes. Though it's probably going to be Michelle, since it is adaptation of the MCU. But seeing Gwen Stacy's Spider-Gwen, it's not necessarily something I want to see outside of the Spider-Verse movies.
There you go. Fair enough. So, X-97 releases in summer 2026. Summer. I would love to hear their reasoning for these release dates. Or release periods. I'm not complaining. Like, this is also not me complaining. I'm just curious, like, why not lead the X-Men right into Doomsday? It's more of a curiosity thing more than anything. That's very cool, though. Dude, what a back-to-back-to-back with, like, Lanterns and Daredevil, both in March, spring-ish, going right into X-97. Damn. Absolutely peak. And Invincible in March as well. Oh my gosh. First look at Apocalypse in X-97 Season 2, voiced by Ross Marquand, who voices Professor Xavier. Yeah, and Season 3 is already confirmed as well, which we knew that a while ago. We knew about Season 3, which is cool. Stacked Marvel projects next year. Stacked Marvel projects, but also just stacked projects in general, right? Because on top of all the Marvel projects, you got Lantern, Supergirl, Clayface. You also have Invincible Season 4, Boys Season 5. Like, it is an insane superhero year next year, and I'm excited. It's called Fantasy Heroes Dropped. I'll have to look into that. Thank you, Box Office Nerd. Punisher should appear in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 or 3. Imagine John Bernthal voices him since Charlie Cox came back to voice Daredevil. That'd be dope. Also, I wanted to say, if it's Eddie Brock, get Alan Richardson to voice him, please. That's it. It's like, there's no reason for him to voice him, but like, please do. Just confirmed Season 397. Yeah. We heard about that a while ago, but it's good to hear them reiterate it. Given the MCU relationship between Riri and Mephisto, do you foresee Riri becoming MCU's next Ghost Rider? I don't. That being said, I'm not as familiar with Ghost Rider lore in the comics. I'm gonna say, though, no. Just because people have been waiting so long for Ghost Rider in the MCU, and for it to not even be one of the main three, for it to be Riri, I think people would be very upset. Scorpion is my favorite Spider-Man villain and love the MCU Hulk. There you go. Question. Do you think we get a movie between Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, or we just get shows in between? So, is there still a movie scheduled to release in July 2027? I feel like I just heard maybe it got removed from the schedule. If that movie got removed from the schedule, then I don't think there'll be a movie between. If that movie's still there, then I think we do. It is still kind of hard to say since we don't know the ending of Doomsday. Okay, yeah, Simpsons took it. Okay, that's what I thought. So because it got taken out, I'm going to say no. I don't think we get a movie between. I think we just get a show or two in between. Which is fine. I don't have strong opinions one way or the other about that. What movie are you most excited for that has been announced that's still in development? Rather, it's MCU or DC, which most anticipated? For you, it's DC, Wonder Woman, and also Checkmate. Well, Checkmate, I don't think it's confirmed yet. Or officially announced, although it will be soon, I'm guessing. So are you, the Watcher, are you saying movies that aren't filmed yet? Like, not counting Doomsday or Brand New Day? Or like Supergirl or Clayface, like movies that are announced but actually haven't been on set filming yet. If you're saying movies that haven't been on set filming yet, then I'm going to say The Batman Part 2. If you're going to say movies that have started filming, I'm gonna say the Batman Part 2. Or do I still, or is it Doomsday and Secret Wars just because of X-Men and James Marsden as Cyclops? Nah, I'm sticking with Batman Part 2. Okay, so we know that yours is gonna be Brand New Day regardless. But if it's if we're talking if we're talking movies that are in development, right, that haven't actually begun filming yet, for either MCU or DCU, what's your most anticipated, Joe?
Secret Wars.
Okay.
I
over
think
Man of Tomorrow and Batman?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would say so. Yeah, for sure. Because of what the future could look like afterwards, but also just because I think Secret Wars is like going to be everything I expect it to be.
Sure.
So, I cannot wait for Secret Wars.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm curious about the spacing between all these shows. I'm also very curious about the spacing with all these shows. I'm right there with you. I still only hate the wait. Well, there's other projects. You know, these aren't the only projects, right? You got Wonderman still, which we have to get the official release date for, which I think we have the actual release date for Wonderman. Maybe even for Daredevil as well, but we also have Daredevil to think about. The Punisher special, and then they have to work it around probably Spider-Man and whatnot. And other shows on Disney Plus too. There's the Darth Maul animated show coming out next year, right? There's other shows. Marvel's not the only Disney Plus show, you know. Brand New Day will be amazing. We are getting Savage, Hulk, Punisher, Scorpion, Tombstone, Ramrod, Boomerang, Tarantula. Rumors say we also get Shatra, Gina Both, and Damage Control. Savage Hulk for me brings it down. I'm really not a Hulk fan at all. Punisher, I'm concerned about. John Bernthal's Punisher is, I think, my favorite casting for any comic book character. That being said, I am very concerned about Punisher being in a PG-13 Spider-Man movie, especially coming off of every single appearance that he's been in being R-rated and like very intense and violent. So I'm kind of concerned about that. Scorpion's exciting. Tombstone's exciting. The rest I have no exposure to at all, so that doesn't do anything for me one way or the other. I think Apocalypse is going good in season 2. Interesting. I'm curious how they do Apocalypse. I mean, you could consider, I mean, it's still tied into the original show, but they already did Apocalypse in the original show. So how are they? It's possible that he goes good to avoid retreading ground.
I'm not gonna lie. In the original show, they did Apocalypse like 3 different times already.
Oh well, there you go.
He just keeps coming back.
There you go. Reading good next year. Yeah, we are. I feel like 2026 is like 2018 for comic book fans. It really is. It really is. I thought Lanterns was coming out May, June 2026. It might be. I'm going off of, I think, maybe rumors from a while ago about Lanterns release date. It could be a May, June sort of thing. Could totally be right. I don't think we have an official release date for the character yet, or for the show yet. Yo, could you just check the Discussing Film Twitter to see if they've posted anything since the Apocalypse post?
Of course.
Just in case. I don't know if my thing has reached the max tweet yet. Do you think we get a Daredevil trailer today?
Oh. As if on cue.
Okay. Is that the...
Yeah, I just checked and that was 5 seconds ago.
Okay. First trailer for Daredevil Born Again Season 2 will be shown at New York Comic Con. Karen and Matt kissing and dancing. Jessica Jones and Foggy appeared. Fisk doing boxing. Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter have now just reunited on stage. So, it seems like it's what I was saying was probably going to happen. People in attendance have seen the trailer. The public, unfortunately, will not see the trailer. Although, prove me wrong, please. This is what I'm interested in. Jessica Jones and Foggy appeared. We know Foggy's in it, right? We've known that since the first episode of Season 1 came out. Brad Winterbaum, the head of Marvel Television, said Foggy is in Season 2. But is it just flashbacks? I'm still on the train that Foggy is alive. I'm still fully on that train. But we'll have to see. Here's the thing, though, right? Here's the strategy I think they're trying to go with. Get ahead of it. Like, announce that Foggy is in season 2. Make it seem like it's just flashbacks, and then people go, oh, they wouldn't just spoil that he's alive, right? So, like, do, like, reverse psychology on people. And make them think that, oh, he's just in it for flashbacks. They're telling us they're not going to say he's in it when he's alive again. And then, boom, he's alive. You
I
were
feel
saying?
like if the Defenders were going to be announced, like you said, it would be around now. You know?
It would be, yeah. No, this would definitely be the time. I'm going to remove Cosmic Marvel because I don't think they're posting as quickly. If you see any on your end, Joe, if you see anything from Cosmic Marvel, let me know and I'll add them back.
Yep.
There's also, there should be a Marvel Studios post here from, I'm going to reload my page because there should be an X-97 thing there. I don't know why it's being weird. Alan Richardson is Catman, very underrated character. Look, man, I'd be down for that. I just want Alan Richardson back as superheroes. You know? Let me try to add this back in. Nope. Did I hit the limit already? There's no way I hit the limit already. Unless they brought it down again. Well, we'll keep this at the very least. Let me see if I can zoom in on this at all. Make it a little bit bigger for y'all. I still think there will be a movie between, probably Shang-Chi 2. I think that's one of the least likely movies between, because the director for Shang-Chi is now doing Brand New Day. So it'd be way too fast for him to go from Brand New Day to Shang-Chi 2, I think. With both MCU projects, Doomsday and Secret Wars on the way, is there time for Disney to introduce a new Marvel element like the phalanx? You know? I don't know what that is, so I can't even comment on it. I apologize. Could Vision Quest move to 2027 to fill the hole, or how about Daredevil Born Again Season 3? Daredevil Born Again Season 3, I think it's definitely coming out 2027. Vision Quest, you could be right. It could be moved to 2027 for that reason, you know, to fill that void between Doomsday and Secret Wars. We don't know. We genuinely don't know. Brad Winterbaum, we are communicating a lot with the team of Spider-Man Brand New Day to make sure that there's coherence there. It very much exists in the same world, and it's important. He's talking about Daredevil Season 2. Yeah, I saw that quote too. I think it's very interesting, and it could be really cool. I don't want to get my hopes up, you know? I typically don't refresh this much, but it's acting a little weird today. Usually accounts will pop up there. I dislike Twitter so much. But yeah, I don't want to get my hopes up for anything like strictly like Daredevil or Kingpin in Brand New Day, but I did see that, and at the very least, it's good that there's going to be some coherence there, right? Nothing has or ever will match the sheer scope of Secret Wars. Mind you, that's not always a good thing, but like the only thing that could possibly could be DC if did a Crisis. Yeah, no, you're right. You're so right. I don't think they will do Crisis, at least for a long time. The moment we get an announcement that Born Again Season 2 is a Defenders reunion, internet will blow up. If we do get that announcement, that would be really dope. Secret Wars is a 20-year-long event we all been waiting for. If you grew up with the Raimi films and 2000s and 2010-ish Marvel films, then yeah, it's hype. Yeah, definitely. And I said this once, and I'll continue saying it. If Secret Wars is mainly like a fan servicey sort of send-off to all these characters, that's not inherently a bad thing. People online will complain about it being fan servicey, but without understanding that that's the whole point. Now, I'm not saying that's just what it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of it, but there's also going to be a coherent story. But, if it's mainly, like, the main part of focus of it is just, oh, look, it's Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman and Iron Man and Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. all interacting and having this one final big goodbye send-off, that's the point, and that's okay. That, like, it's been 20 years plus of all this stuff. It's a lot of people's childhoods and growing up. It means a lot to a lot of people. I think it's fine if there's the big concluding movie is like that, as like a celebration type of movie. Is there a new tweet from Discussing Film, Joe, after this one?
I am not seeing one. I'm constantly like refreshing and checking.
Cool, thank you. I kind of wish they wouldn't space out releases for different franchises, because I think it'd be awesome to have a really good Marvel and Star Wars show debuting at the same time. I'm right there with you, man. I fully agree. I get why they do it, because some people would only choose one over the other. But I'm right there with you. Like, I love when there's shows at the same time. That happened semi-recently. I mean, right now, like, if I was really into Gen V, having Gen V and Peacemaker at the same time would be so hype. I'm right there with you, dude. And it might happen. There might be some overlap with, like, the Darth Maul show and Daredevil, which absolute cinema if that's the case. There's a lot of Apocalypse to cover. Fair enough. Solomon Holmes, hello, nice to have you. Thank you for tuning in. Nice to have you here. Says, I'm curious how they're going to do Venom in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I am as well, since I haven't seen the first season. How do you think they're going to do Venom in season 2, Joe?
Honestly, I don't think that they're going to do Eddie Brock, but I really hope they do Eddie Brock, because no one has done Eddie Brock for a long time. Okay, Discussing Film did just post 16 seconds ago.
Yep. Is Daredevil Born Again season 2 will release in March 2026 on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Okay, that popped up for me as well. Cool. So, okay, I'll make this feed even bigger then, since they're seem to be retweeting a lot of stuff. There you go. Just announced at New York Comic Con, Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again season 2 is coming to Disney Plus March 2026. Heck yeah. I think Punisher gets toned down for Brand New Day, which isn't great, but I mean, I guess at least we see him and Spider-Man in a film together. Yeah, I mean, you're right about that second part, but I don't know. It all comes down to execution, and there is definitely a world where it's executed well. But I don't know. It's just, I'm just scared it'll feel weird. But there's definitely a world where it works. With him reviving Gambit to be his henchman, I doubt it. I mean, you doubt. Oh, with him being good, you're saying, with Apocalypse going good. Yeah, no, yeah, that's a good point too. In the Krakoa era in the comics, Apocalypse helped the mutants for a bit. Interesting. I believe X-Men 97 Season 2 will be each dispersed X-Men team dealing with Apocalypse across 3 different timelines, past, present, and future. Especially with Gambit coming back as a Horseman. Yeah, I'm really excited for how they're going to go through it. The 3 different timelines things is really intriguing. Obviously, the big tease of Gambit coming back as a Horseman is really intriguing. Age of Apocalypse, probably. I meant Apocalypse is going to be good in the show, not that he's going to turn good. Sorry. No, you're good. It's possible. It's possible. I hope they keep Savage Hulk if rumors are true, best version of the Hulk. Fair enough. I had no opinion about the Hulk one way or the other, but I know people definitely want that kind of version of the Hulk, so fair enough. What are the chances for DC's Alan Scott to be in DC's Green Lantern series? I'm going to give it a 50-50 right now. A rumor just came out that the plot of the show is Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart investigating the murder of Alan Scott. But that is just a rumor, and it's only one place saying that rumor, so I think it's about a 50-50. Daredevil's gonna think he sees a ghost when Foggy again. Yeah. If he's alive, that's what happens, yeah. Foggy, but how? I mean, the basic answer is flashbacks. And I think that's the answer that they want you to think. Which is why I think they're trying to, like, psych us out. By announcing him so early and revealing that he's in it. I think they want us to think it's just flashbacks, or just there's no reason else for them to announce it if it was more than just flashbacks, and then we see it's not just flashbacks in the later episodes, and we go, whoa. Maybe Jess and Matt are investigating whatever Foggy was trying to do before he died, and then they found out he is alive. That's not a bad guess either. I had that thought too with Jessica Jones, especially being a PI. There's a chance that happens. I think it's a flashback since Charlie said he filmed a flashback that took place back in 2015 after Daredevil season 1. I think it's both. I think there's definitely flashbacks, but I think it's flashbacks in the beginning of the season to continue people thinking that he's dead. And then towards the end of the season, if not the finale, we get the reveal that he's alive. And there's season 3 too. So they could even leave it off on a cliffhanger where they find out Foggy's alive, leading into season 3. Foggy fakes his death to protect a client in the comics to kind of tease that happening in the show because the street address has an issued number. Yeah, they did. They did. Which doesn't mean 100% that that's what's happening, right? That there doesn't believe that that's what's happening. But it is interesting that they are teasing that issue. Like, there's Easter eggs for that issue in the comics where he fakes his death, right? It's interesting. Doesn't mean that it's definitely happening, but it's definitely interesting and worth noting. I'll say, based off previous NYCC panels, there's always a chance Marvel releases the trailer after the conclusion of the panel, typically within an hour. All right. I mean, I'm down to stick around for a little bit after the panel's over, if you guys want to see if there's any trailers released to the public. There might not be, but I'm down to stick around for a bit. I was shocked at how similar he is to Catman in looks. His bigger than Batman, but a jacked Catman would be crazy. No, that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, bigger than Catman, yeah. Just join the stream, Silver Jagger. No problem, man. Thank you, Nick. To have here. Anything you missed so far? So far, we just got that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man releases in fall 2026. Daredevil will return in season 2 of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, wearing the classic red costume. Venom will appear in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man season 2. X-97 season 2 releases in summer next year. We had a first look at Apocalypse in season 2 of X-97. And then they showed at the panel, not to the public, the first trailer for Daredevil Born Again season 2, shown at the Comic-Con. That might be something new up there. Karen and Matt kissing and dancing. Jessica Jones and Foggy appeared. Fisk doing boxing. Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter now have reunited on stage. And then Daredevil Born Again season 2 will release in March 2026 on Disney+. First trailer for Wonderman series has releasing January 27th on Disney+. All right, so let's check this out. I gotta go back down to the normal size. You can hear it as well, Joe, right, when I play it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so Wonderman trailer. I will have to talk over it occasionally, just for copyright reasons and whatnot, but let's watch.
The entertainment world is stunned today when
All right, studio lot.
and reclusive filmmaker Von Kovac sprung out of retirement to sign on for a remake of Wonderman. Mr. Von Kovac, could you tell us more?
Everyone is tired of superheroes.
I love that it's that actor.
Opportunity to reimagine a whole genre of storytelling.
Have you thought about casting?
So, what's this big audition you were talking about?
It's a huge opportunity. I'm auditioning for Wonderman.
That's so funny. That's awesome.
Be in this movie.
Sorry, you crazy.
I love how it looks.
Are you serious?
I love how it
I'm already
looks.
talking to Leo.
Oh, he's having so much fun with this role.
There and crush it.
I love it. Yeah.
What's wrong?
I'm trying to come up with a backstory for the character.
Well, trust the words. Just show up and say them.
That's not my process.
Well, your process can go blow a spider.
Guy's killing it in there, bro.
Where have I seen him before? Pretty sure he used to be a terrorist. You ready?
Simon Williams, reading for Wonderman.
Listen to me, Simon. The callback is happening now. Just be normal.
Normal man.
Oh, okay.
Go method.
So is it about him getting the part? That's interesting.
Come in. Mr. Kovac will meet you in the living room.
I didn't think Trevor would have this big of a role.
Hello, everyone.
It seems like Trevor's gonna be here like the whole way.
Yeah.
The balls to make another.
Action!
Any news from Kobe?
There is news you'll be the first to know.
Unless you call me again, in which case I will never tell you.
In an episode series streaming January 27th. That looks cool.
That looks fun. Fun.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Now, I don't know Wonder Man in the comics, so you guys fill me in about the character. Does he have powers or whatnot? I'm not sure, but let me open this up. Wonder Man premieres January 27th at 6 p.m. So 9 p.m. Eastern. But yes, he does have powers. Interesting. It looks like, though, which I think is interesting, especially to touch on it, that a lot of these actors here look like, well, maybe not him, but, and not him, obviously, but kind of look like the comic Wonder Man. Whereas Yahya Abdul Mateen II is not like the first person you might think of for Wonder Man. I think that'd be very interesting to touch upon that. Yeah, he has powers. Okay, how does he get his powers? Yeah, that's what I thought he had powers as well, so I'm asking the same thing. How do the powers come into play, if they do come into play? January 27th is going to take a long time, in your opinion. I mean, yeah, it's October still. It is, but it's also not. It'll be here before you know it. That looks good. That looks fun. I agree. Oh, first logo for Vision Quest. I don't know why the image itself is not getting big. There you go. That's a better look. First logo for Vision Quest. Interesting. I don't know if that tells us anything. It's kind of like it's got like a weird 3D effect to it. You know, like the red and blue glasses.
Right.
Interesting. I remember EMH adapting the character. He was the purple glowing person. EMH. I don't know who EMH is or what EMH is, Nercentric. I apologize. Wonder Man is a former actor who was experimented on by AIM and becomes Wonder Man, and yeah, he's kind of OP in the comics. Interesting. I think they will choose him because he somehow has powers in the show. Okay. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Gotcha. Thank you. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Yep. Which I've not seen yet, but it is definitely on my list to watch eventually. Wonder Man poster here. Let's get a closer look at that. Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood experiencing superhero fatigue. Is it time to hang out the capes? Oh, if they're going that meta with this.
That's pretty funny.
Third Dread Marvel Studios. Okay. Yeah. If they're really going that meta with it, I'm so down for this. This could be really good. I was saying I like how it looks visually. It's not like flashy cinematography either, but it's like it's still something. Let me just get some shots up in here. Like this in itself, like there's just the way the camera moves sometimes is very interesting, and more so just how it's lit and color grade. Like this scene right here. The way it's like slight handhelds, and there seems to be some sort of... Is there a halation to this? There might be a slight halation to this. And I doubt it was shot on film, but it looks like they might try to be emulating how film stock colors work. I just appreciate that a lot. It just gives it some character. And I think that's a lot of these projects have been missing, and we're starting to see this with recent MCU projects and DC as well. But it's been more a problem I think with Marvel projects that visually they don't look all that interesting. But now we're getting some stuff like Thunderbolts especially looks great. Daredevil Born Again, the shots have actual style and character to them. Wonderman, it looks like could have some of that. Fantastic Four was very stylized. Based off of the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts, it looks like Doomsday is also going to have like some real cinematography. And Vision Quest maybe too. I mean, I don't know how that is going to look. We haven't seen any footage yet, but I'm loving the direction the MCU is going visually. I think they're finally starting to get away from the basic lighting and shots that they used to do, and there's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but it's just there's also nothing wrong with getting some actual style and lighting in your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Vision Quest logo looks different. Did they have a logo before? I honestly don't know. Damn, when I missed it, this guy here. That's all right, Turtle. Welcome. Nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. So let's go through a little recap. So we got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 premiering in fall 2026. Daredevil will return in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 wearing the classic red costume. Venom will appear in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. X-97 Season 2 is summer 2026. First look at Apocalypse in X-97 Season 2. Then people in attendance to the panel were shown the first trailer for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Karen and Matt kissing and dancing. Jessica Jones and Foggy appeared. Fisk doing boxing. And Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter were reunited on stage. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 coming to Disney Plus March 2026. And we just got the Wonderman trailer and poster. And also a logo reveal for Vision Quest. And now you are up to date. Are they going to show Born Again Season 2 trailer? They haven't released it to the public yet. They showed it to people in attendance. Let me get the music back going here. Yeah, they haven't shown it to the public yet. It was brought up in chat that sometimes with New York Comic-Cons, they wait until after the panel's over to release other trailers. So we'll stick around for a little bit to see if they do that. I don't think they'll release the Born Again trailer to the public because I think that would overshadow the Wonderman trailer. And I don't think they want to overshadow the Wonderman trailer. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Can we get a release date for Vision Quest, please? At the very least, like that fall, like the season, at the very least. Anyway, yeah, no, what are your thoughts about the Wonderman trailer, Joe?
Yeah, I thought it was really, really fun. Like you said, the lighting and everything looks really good. And it looks like Trevor may not get the Wonderman role, but it looks like he does get some sort of bigger role. So it looks like he'll be like literally right by his side the entire time, which I think will be really fun because I don't know how other people feel about him. I personally love whenever he pops up. I think he's a really funny character. So I'm excited to see this dynamic.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I agree. I mean, isn't Wonderman supposed to be a comedy type of show? Maybe that's why it's going meta, because I read somewhere that it would be. Yeah, it looks like it's more of a dramedy sort of thing, probably. Maybe leaning more towards comedy, which I'm down for. I have no point of reference for the character Wonderman, so for me, it's like it's totally a clean slate. The cinematographer for Wonderman is doing Spider-Man Brand New Day, since he's friends with the director. James Spader will officially return as Ultron in Vision Quest. He will play a human form of Ultron in the series. So there you go. Officially announced. This rumor has been out there for about a year and a half now. And I have been trying to avoid bringing it up in streams because just in case people didn't want to know. But it's officially out there now. They've officially announced it. So fair game. Yeah. James Spader is coming back as Ultron in Vision Quest. A human form Ultron. And I am so excited for that. That is incredibly, incredibly hype. I have no guesses on like how or why or whatnot. Do you have any guesses on how or why?
I mean, I think it'll be really about Vision remembering the different parts of him, and I think that it's going to be James Spader visualized sort of in this White Vision's mind, you know, sort of reminding him of what his purpose was versus what the Avengers' purpose of him was, just to reform who Vision is.
I think it's a fair theory. So audio needs to be up. My audio is up all the way. I have to toy around with it a little bit. But thank you for letting me know, Somar. I appreciate it. Welcome as well. Nice to have everything tuning in. Just sucks that Thunderbolts didn't have the script. I respect your opinion. I strongly disagree. I thought the script for Thunderbolts was really great. One of the strongest scripts that they've had in the MCU in a while. Yeah, I love that movie so much. Love Spider-Man and X-Men. Not so excited about for Daredevil. Really? Fair enough. Fair enough. They are talking Vision Quest. Yes. Paul Bettany's on stage. Trevor will probably be a mentor war. Seems like it. Seems like it. Barry here, Joe. Gotcha. I can turn you up on my end. Say something, Joe.
Blah 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 blah.
That was a little too much. Okay. I think.
All right. Sorry.
No. You're good. It's on my. Okay. I think that's good. All right. First details for Vision Quest. White Vision has all of the memories of the original Vision, but struggles to connect with the emotions. Ultron, Friday, Edith, Dumb E. Oh, is that the hand? Like the hand crane
Oh,
thing?
wow. I didn't realize that the crane was a part of it. That's funny.
Me neither. And Jarvis will all appear and have human form. So Jarvis, we already know. Who's playing him? Vision Quest, there you go. Coming to Disney Plus in 2026. Jarvis we've seen in human form already in Agent Carter and also in Avengers Endgame. I believe he's coming back. Friday, Edith, and Dumb E we have not. However, let's go here to learn more about the cast. You guys can see this, right? Yeah, you guys can see this. Okay. Fans also got a sneak peek at footage for the show revealing several cast members. Henry Lewis as Dumb E, Jonathan Sayer as You, James Darcy as Jarvis, who was in Agent Carter and also Avengers Endgame as Edwin Jarvis, Orla Bradley as Friday, and Emily Hampshire as Edith. James Spader also returns as Ultron, reprising his role from 2015's Age of Ultron. The footage ends with a shot of Rard Malika, I definitely butchered that name, appearing in a CCTV recording where he's identified as Thomas Shepard. So if you guys know who Thomas Shepard is, fill me in the comments or in the chat. Speed. Ah, there you go. All right. Tommy, right. Duh, Billy and Tommy. All right. So Tommy's going to be in the show. That's cool. Yeah. That was a guess for a while, but we have official confirmation that Speed is going to be in the show. So, I mean, do we think that Billy shows up in the end and Billy and Tommy reunite? I think that's interesting. Samuel, welcome to Stream Notes Havier, says, watch WandaVision first before Vision Quest. Yes, you want to watch WandaVision, Agatha, and then Vision Quest. It's kind of like their own quote-unquote trilogy. Yeah, here you go. Butchering that name, so I'm not going to say it again, but will officially star as Wanda and Vision's sons Tommy in Vision Quest. So that's the actor, and that's the character. The other one was Agatha all along. It's right in between. WandaVision, Agatha, Vision Quest is kind of that trilogy of shows. So we have release windows for the other shows. Where does Vision Quest fit in next year? That's a good question. Yeah, so that's confirmed for next year as well. So winter? I mean, that would be kind of Doomsday, but we got Wonderman in January, and that's 8 episodes. So they haven't mentioned anything about double episode premiere or double episode finale, so we can assume that's like 8 weeks. So that goes through, I mean, that's the last week in January, since it's January 27th. Last week in January goes all the way through February into March. Daredevil's March, so that probably picks up right after that, maybe a week between. That, I think we know, has 8 episodes, maybe more. How much was Daredevil Born Again Season 1? Do you remember?
It was 9 episodes.
9 episodes. Oh. Okay, so Season 2 is probably 8 or 9, right around there. So that goes through March into April. Then I'm guessing we have the Punisher special presentation in maybe May, June, leading into Born Again in July. 8 episodes of Season 2 Daredevil. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm guessing Punisher special presentation, June maybe, May, June, leading to Joe's voice is too high now. Fair enough. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. Yeah, leading into Brand New Day. And then X97, it sounds like. And then Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. So yeah, probably fall. Probably like November, December-ish for Vision Quest, I would guess. Interesting. think Ultron will remind Vision of his past and AI self, while Tommy will remind Vision of his humanity and family. Paul said about it. That works for me. That sounds good to me. Do you think we'll get the Vision Quest trailer or look? I don't think so, since it seems like, based off what we were just talking about, how maybe it won't release till like November, December. So they have 2 big conventions next year between now and then. They have San Diego Comic-Con in July, and then the main D23 in either early September or late August. I forgot when exactly it is. Vision Quest is going to be awesome. I think it will come out late 2026. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be... I'm really excited for it. It's going to be really good. Still think Speed, a.k.a. Wanda's outside appears in show? Well, yeah, just got confirmed. Heck yeah. Dumb E going to be comedic relief? He has to be. I mean, I think it'd be such a misdirect if he's like the most dramatic character, but no, he's almost definitely going to be comic relief for sure. What is the status of MQ's Nova projects? We don't know. On hold, maybe? We don't know. Yeah. I hope they dive more into the horror in Wonderman. You know, there was no indication of horror in the trailer. That doesn't mean there won't be in the show, but at least it's not what they're marketing it. So I'm not expecting much. We are definitely eating in 2026, for sure. Random bully in school, Tommy, your dad is a robot. Yeah, he quite literally is a robot. Vision Quest is probably November next year. I agree. It's pronounced Rory. Oh, so he's Irish. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. You're right, because they did split the original 18 episodes. Yeah. I think it gets pushed to early 2027. It might have connections to Doomsday. It might, but if they were worried about it being with like overlapping with Doomsday, then it would already be 2027. I think, since they know, when Doomsday's releasing. Punisher for February, while Daredevil's in March. It's possible. If the Punisher special takes place between the 2 seasons and leads into season 2, then I agree. It's probably before. But Wonderman, it sounds like, leads right into Daredevil. So there might not be time even for the Punisher special. Marvel posted on Instagram all the titles for all Marvel TV and animated shows on Insta. Probably means that that concludes Marvel's panel. It's very possible. It's very possible. I think Discussing Film usually says it's over, but we'll wait a couple minutes to see. I want Daredevil Born Again Season 2 news. That's fair. That's fair. White Vision will remember his memories about his old self that struggles with the emotions. Also fair. Joe, could you take over for a second? I'm getting a call. Just, I don't know. Talk about Marvel or the chat or something. You hear Joe? I can't hear you if you're talking.
I was talking and I was muted the whole time. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
White Vision will remember his memories about his old self, but struggles with his emotions. That's interesting. So do they mean that he's devoid of emotions? Oh, you're unmuted. Sorry. Hi, chat. Bye, the box office nerd. Thank you for joining. I'm constantly checking Discussing Film just to make sure that we're all caught up. Ultimate Fusion. White Vision. Oh, I see. Okay. What are the chances of getting a teaser for Daredevil Season 2? I know that they got a trailer in attendance, but they didn't for us. Like we didn't get a trailer, but they did, I believe, in presentation. There's still the Punisher special. That is true. There is still the Punisher special. But I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get anything for that. I would just say, if we don't get that, I wouldn't be disappointed. If we do get that, I definitely would not be disappointed. We're just gonna say that what we're getting is what we're getting as far as right now goes.
In terms of the panel? Is that what the question was?
Like the Punisher special is still hasn't been shown.
Yeah. My thing's still weird in terms of adding new columns. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense that they would touch upon it here, maybe, but it's just a special presentation, so maybe, you know, they are just going to drop the trailer one day for it, and that's it. What are the chances of getting a teaser for Daredevil Season 2? I'm not going to say super high, because they already covered it, and the panel's probably over, if not almost over. Joe, can you check on your end, either discussing film or Cosmic Marvel or whatnot, like just on Twitter to see if the panel's over?
Constantly checking just to make sure.
Dope, thank you. There's a small chance that they'll release the trailer within an hour of the panel closing, although I don't think that's going to happen because I think a Daredevil Season 2 trailer would overshadow the Wonderman trailer, and I don't think they want to do that. Gotta go buy this one. Thank you for tuning in, Box Office Nerd. I appreciate it. Nice to have you here. Bummer nothing at Punisher special, potential Season 2 of Marvel Zombies, and no announcement of Defenders reunion. Yeah, it was a long shot for the Defenders reunion. I mean, there was the you know, the fact that they would be there, but like, you know, there for a photo ops and whatnot. But you know, if they want to say it, if the Defenders are in it and they want to say it for save it for a surprise in the show, that's fair that they wouldn't announce it. Nothing on the Punisher special and Marvel Zombie Season 2 is disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. It was still a good panel overall. What do you wish for in the MC reboot after Secret Wars? I just want them to have all the characters back. Like, I want them to recast Steve Rogers and Tony Stark and bring them back so they have literally every character again at their disposal to interact with each other. It'll have been about 10 years since Endgame at that point, 20 years since Iron Man. It's time. We have the X-Men and Fantastic Four all in the same universe again with the Avengers and whatnot. It's time to recast. Normalize recast. Please normalize recasts. Since the Engineer appeared in DCU's Superman movie, how long do you think it will be before Warner Brothers develops a live-action movie about the Wildcats? I don't think it's on their priority. I think just because Engineer appeared doesn't mean they're going to do that. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Wildcat shows up eventually, but I don't think a Wildcats project is on the top of their priority right now. What's up, Duolingo? Nice to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. What random character do you think your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man will introduce? We already got Finesse from Avengers Academy and Wave from Agents of Atlas. I mean, this isn't that random, but I could totally see, like, Luna Snow showing up in Season 3 of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I could totally see that happening. How long has it been since White Vision? How long has it been? That was what? That was WandaVision. Was that 2020? Will it have been 6 years since White Vision showed up? I think it will have been 6 years since White Vision showed up. That's crazy. That's just crazy that it's been that long since WandaVision. Damn. I feel old. 4 years. It was 2021. Okay, so it'd be 5 years, which is like only 1 year less, but that still feels crazy. It's been that long. What's the post below speedcasting? The post below speedcasting is just them talking about that Vision Quest is coming to Disney Plus in 2026. They could wait 1 month before it comes out like Werewolf by Night. Yeah, I think that's what they're probably going to do for the Punisher special. Since it's a special presentation, they're probably just going to wait until it's closer. Panel just ended according to the Spanish account. Okay. Did you find anything, Joe, about the panel being over?
I'm not seeing anything on Cosmic Marvel or discussing film.
Yeah, this is just weird. We knew this announcement of James Darcy as Jarvis. I'm sure you're right, Hijack. I'm sure that it's probably over by now, but I'm just going to leave it up just in case. We'll stick around for a little bit. People also have to realize this is for talking about shows that are currently production, not announced new ones. Exactly, yeah. I was not expecting any new announcements for shows this year. I totally agree. Do we know when the special presentation is releasing, or at least the general release date? We do not. I'm going to guess it's after Daredevil Season 2, before Brand New Day. since Wonder Man releases last week of January and Daredevil starts in March, I'm guessing that Wonder Man goes right up until Daredevil Born Again with maybe a week in between, and maybe that week in between is the Punisher special. Although I'm just gonna say it's probably after Born Again, before Brand New Day. So like May, June-ish, I'm thinking. I want to see Reed and Tony meet. Me too. I want to see Reed and Tony meet. I want to see Steve Rogers and Cyclops meet. And more than just that, I just want all the characters to be in the same universe. There's no reason not to do it. You know? It's fine. Like, you could finally do it now. I get waiting, but I get wait. Like, once they got the Fox characters back, I get waiting. But now, like, by the time Secret Wars releases, it'll have been almost 10 years since the acquisition of Fox. Enough time has passed. We all think of Punisher new comic book suit. I personally was a little but I've grown to really like it. I have not seen it yet, so I don't have an opinion. Luna Snow was in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 1 as a picture on Harry's phone. Was she really? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, but maybe it's just because I wasn't paying attention enough to Harry's phone or to Luna Snow.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, me too. I wasn't thinking something like the Champions or Nova would be announced. Yeah, I agree. Only Marvel Zombie Season 2. I agree. I was thinking maybe that, but... And I wish we would have gotten a Season 2 announcement, but that's all right.
Oh, I do remember this. Yes, she did. She definitely did.
Well, there you go. I'm curious how they're going to do the human versions of Jarvis, Edith, Ultron, etc. I am too. I wonder if it's going to be more like a mental thing. Maybe Vision just kind of sits somewhere and it's all in his mind sort of thing. Zombie Season 2 was never announced, though. Just looking for opportunity to make it based on fan feedback and ratings. No, right. And that's what we're saying. That maybe they, after a couple weeks of Marvel Zombies being out and seeing the reactions and ratings, that they would go ahead with an announcement here for renewal, but sounds like they didn't. Yeah, they might be waiting a couple months later. Oh, well, you know, that is Luna Snow. Wait, Human Jarvis is back? That's cool. We're technically only seen him in one MC movie. That is true. Yeah, he is coming back, and I'm excited for it. I think it's, he's great as the role. He's great as a character. Since it got so popular, do you see Marvel Rivals representation in Secret Wars? I see it... How do I say this? Like, they're definitely going to bring in Jeff somewhere, right? They're definitely going to bring in Jeff. I could see Jeff being like a little background fun thing. I could also see Jeff very much being... Like, they could just throw Jeff in with Deadpool. Like, Deadpool shows up, and just Jeff's there with him, and that's it.
I was going to say, out of all the characters, I feel like the most connection would be Jeff and Deadpool. And
I'd love that. I could definitely see Jeff. I could also see a Luna Snow thing as well. I could see Luna Snow showing up. Like, not draw attention to it, but just as another character. I don't think we'll see Marvel Rivals versions of characters, like wearing the Marvel Rivals outfits necessarily. But since Jeff and Luna are kind of the two poster children of Marvel Rivals, I could totally see it. And honestly, with Jeff, I want to see Jeff. I would love to see Jeff in live action in the MCU somewhere. That'd be great.
I also think that Jeff would be easier because he's animated, and it's easier to get like a voice the same voice actor for him as well.
Right. I know, but Disney Plus had Marvel Zombies top 1 for a couple days. It did. I really hope they don't get quote unquote brought to life, if you know what I mean. I do. Yeah, I think it'll be more of a... It may be more of a thing, maybe where Vision, maybe like... What's the term? Plugs himself into some sort of network, you know? And then it all just becomes sort of something in his head, perhaps. X-Men Season 2 Magneto villain. Well, Magneto is with what? Magneto's in the past, right? With them. Magneto could go either way. I'm gonna say though, no to him being a villain. I think they're gonna go all in on Apocalypse. I think Jeff in an animated show makes sense, or him in Secret Wars. Yeah. I think Jeff will be in either like a Deadpool 4 or Secret Wars or something like that. And I'm all for it. Do you think we could see Kingo and Wonderman? As Ultimate Fusion says, Kingo got taken at the end of Eternals, so I don't think so. Maybe like a poster of Kingo in Hollywood somewhere. That's definitely possible. But I don't think Kingo, like, in person. What I missed? Any crazy announcements for upcoming Marvel? Nothing too crazy, but yeah, I can definitely do a little recap of the panel. So it started with the announcement that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is going to premiere in fall of next year, and that Daredevil will be in it again wearing the classic red costume. Also, that Venom is going to show up in Season 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Then X-97 Season 2 was confirmed for summer of next year, followed up with our first look at Apocalypse in the show. Then Daredevil Born Again came on stage. People in attendance got shown the trailer, so I'm sure that trailer is going to leak online. They saw Karen and Matt kissing and dancing. Jessica Jones and Foggy appeared. Fisk doing boxing, and Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter were on stage. Daredevil Born Again was then confirmed to be coming out in March of next year. Then we got the Wonderman trailer, which I think looks really cool and really fun. Excited for that. And that comes out on January 27th. Then we got the logo for Vision Quest, along with the confirmation, also a poster for Wonderman here. Along with the confirmation that James Spader will return as Ultron in Vision Quest, played in human form. And the other AIs in the MCU, Friday, Edith, Dumb-E, and Jarvis, will also all appear and have their human forms. Jarvis played by James D'Arcy, who played Jarvis in Agent Carter and Avengers Endgame. And also confirmed that Rory Malika will star as Tommy in Vision Quest, Wanda and Vision's other son. So I'm assuming that's it for the panel. So let me switch back to my other setup here. Something going to happen on Doomsday? No, this was just a TV panel. This is just a Marvel Television and animation panel. The next news about Doomsday is either going to be maybe a first look with Avatar or at San Diego Comic-Con in July. The actor for Kingo did sign a multimedia deal. He did, but that doesn't mean he has to appear. It's just kind of them covering their bases if they want him to appear. All good, Sunshine. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Really hope they find ways to redeem the Eternals. I heard Marvel plan on adapting a Judgment Day film post-Secret Wars. I would love it. I think the characters themselves weren't bad. It was just more that there was too many characters in the movie to get enough screen time with any of them to care. But I didn't dislike any of the characters at all. Like, what do you think, Joe? You didn't. I don't think you disliked any of the characters, right?
In more just zombies? No. In Eternals. No. I definitely did not dislike any of the characters. I did like certain characters, or I felt more compelled towards certain characters than others. Like, I will say Sprite, I didn't feel as compelled to her story. Sure. But that doesn't mean I disliked her character, and I still liked how her story ended. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was just that there was too many characters introduced for the first time, and they just didn't balance it well enough to get attached to Eddie for me. I think Judgment Day will be a first big event movie in the saga that connects to the Avengers and X-Men together. It's possible. Eternals 2, it's possible. The panel is over. And it's a television panel, and they wouldn't announce movie stuff at a television animation panel. What is the status of Marvel's Armor Wars project? Again, we don't know. It seems like dead in the water, unfortunately. Disagree with the screen time thing? Really like Eternals? Hey, fair enough. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm very happy that you liked Eternals. I thought it was just fine, but I am very happy you liked and disagree with the screen time thing. I'm glad. Very glad. Jet the Land Shark is already in Spidey and His Amazing Friends, and from the clip I've seen of him in the series, reminds you of Stitch. That's cool. I'm glad that he's in that show. That's a perfect show for him, and I would love even more now for a little appearance of Jeff in Secret Wars then, because then those kids who watch that show are like, oh my gosh, it's Jeff from Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Thought Sprite was a bit annoying at times, but other than that, it was a pretty good movie. It's fair. Yeah. Has DC announced anything? DC does not have any main DC Studios panel here. I think the only big announcement for DC was that they're doing an animated Nightfall adaptation, Batman Nightfall, which I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, and there was a trailer, I think, for that Batman Batfam animated Amazon show. I'm not interested in that, so I didn't watch the trailer or anything. Just think there's some things in Eternals that doesn't make sense. I enjoyed it, but yeah, fair enough. That's also very fair. But we'll also say Eternals would have been fire as a show with actual long-form episodes. I agree. I think it should have been a show. I think that would have worked a lot better. Because the concept, the story in itself, I think works. I think it's just that they had to, like, even as long as the movie is, I think they just had too much to juggle, you know? Overall, Joe, what were your thoughts on the panel?
I'm extremely happy with what we got. Like I had said, Friendly Neighborhood was my top thing, and they sort of confirmed things that were already set up, but it's still cool that they were able to elaborate on some things. I'm very excited for Venom in the next season now. I'm excited to see how they're going to do that, if they'll even give Peter the symbiote, or if they'll just go straight to Venom. But I'm excited to see how that plays out. Also, I'm sure that Daredevil footage might be floating around somewhere. I might go look for that afterwards.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Yeah. But yeah, all around, I'm happy with the panel. I thought it was a great panel.
I am as well. It pretty much hit everything that I expected them to announce and hit. I mean, and some Vision Quest stuff, which I wasn't really expecting. So that's cool. I have absolutely no qualms with it, honestly. Good panel overall. The Wonderman trailer looks really good. I'm really excited for that show. Release dates that I wasn't expecting for X97 and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but not release dates I'm complaining about, especially since I'm not as interested in Spider-Man, so getting X-Men sooner than I expected is great for me. But yeah, I really liked it. What were your thoughts on the panel, guys? Let me know in the chat if you liked it or didn't like it and why. DC has to reveal something before SDCC with Supergirl releasing the same month. Well, I mean, they can just release trailers, like, whenever. Because they also have Lanterns probably before SDCC. So I'm sure they'll just release trailers. What's up, Cameron? It's Abby. Thanks for tuning in. I think Vision will release it on Halloween like Agatha did. Marvel has released something for Halloween every year since 2022. I don't see Vision being a Halloween-esque thing, though. It's possible they just have the Venom episode of Spider-Man release around then, and maybe have that be a little more spooky, perhaps. I don't know why the accounts haven't confirmed that the panel's over, aside from some other accounts, but it's fine. Yeah, but it is what it is. Is MCU's Black Knight project dead? Also, what is the status of Henry Cavill being MCU's Captain Britain? Well, both those projects were never confirmed. Both those things were never confirmed. I think a Black Knight project was just at most rumored, but even that, I'm not even sure if it was even credible rumors. And Henry Cavill being MCU's Captain Britain was always just a fan cast. It was never an actual thing that was happening. It'd be cool if it did happen, but that was always just a fan cast. So I think I'll wait like 6 more minutes, see if there's any other, if they happen to release the trailer for Born Again for some reason, like 30 minutes after the panel. Anything else you guys want to talk about or discuss in the chat for these next 6 minutes or so? Put it in the chat. The Daredevil footage is leaked. They most likely just release it. Well, I don't know. I mean, the footage, the trailer for Born Again Season 1 was leaked as well. And they didn't end up releasing that to the public, I don't think. I think they still waited for it to release to the public. Just want to see Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I need that X97 trailer right now. I'm with you as well. Both of those are the 2 projects coming from Marvel Television / animation that I'm most excited for. I'm with you. Let me see if I can pull up the Marvel. Oh, there we go. We can pull this up just in case for some reason. Or is it just going to keep loading? Well, I think your alternate return plan works better verbally, and I can't verbalize as well as you can. Do you think there any link between Spider-Man and Daredevil Season 2? I think the only link really will be whatever ends up being with Kingpin. I mean, well, I like Punisher, right? But I think the only link will be maybe whatever happens with Kingpin. Well, okay. Do you think, Joe, that Kingpin is, like, defeated at the end of Daredevil Born Again Season 2? Where do you think his story ends leading into Brand New Day?
So, he wasn't defeated in sort of Season 1. That was sort of his uprising.
Right.
So, I feel like it makes sense for him to be defeated in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, but I feel like from what the rumors are saying, it only sounds like it's even more challenging after Season 2. It could be a thing where it's more so like two people become like desperate, where Kingpin loses some of his power, but Daredevil still hasn't quite won yet, so now it's like an all-out brawl. So now it's like, you know, now it's a sort of free-for-all for New York. So it could be something like that, where he's not exactly beaten, but now he's backed into a corner, so he's even more dangerous.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And if that happens, then yeah, like, it opens up the floodgates a little bit for, like, Tombstone or whatnot to try to take power, which could help lead into Spider-Man. I think that might be the only link. I would love for the link to be Kingpin himself, and that, like, he's, like, the big ultimate boss, but I don't think that's going to be the case with Brand New Day, unfortunately. Can't wait for more Cyclops. You and me both, man. You and me both. The GOAT. The GOAT. What are the chances of seeing an MCU Valeria, Richards, and Disney's Doomsday and/or Secret Wars? Doomsday, I think, kind of low. Secret Wars, maybe more. I feel like they're going all in on Franklin. So I don't know how that would relate to Valeria necessarily. I feel like it might be more likely in Secret Wars than Doomsday. Yeah, Season 3 of Born Again was greenlit. That is happening. Thank goodness. 2 seasons for each villain makes sense. Yeah, it does. But also, someone like Kingpin, I mean, he could be Kingpin for you know, X amount of seasons in a row and just kind of be like that looming threat, you know? I think Fisk will be defeated at the end of Season 2, but he will escape on a boat. To where? Escape where? Love Mr. Fear? That'd be cool. Just give a new look at Daredevil Born Again Season 2, I'd be happy. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like Joe said, I'm sure that footage will leak. So we'll all have to keep our eyes out and find that on our own. Valeria might appear post-Secret Wars due to reality change. Possible. That is possible, too. Much as I don't want to see it. I could see Bella Ramsey being Valeria, considering she's been eyed for a role in Pedro's Reed. I don't think so at all. Well, she'd be too old. Because are they going to keep them like children? Bella Ramsey is early to mid-20s? Yeah, Bella Ramsey is 22. So by the time they get to end of Secret Wars, if that's what they're doing, then like she'd be like 25. Yeah, no, she'd be too old. Also, just because Pedro's Reed doesn't mean that they're going to cast Bella Ramsey as Valeria. Hello, Did. Nice to have you. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Escapes to Japan as new leader of the Hand. Oh, interesting. That would be kind of crazy. Kingpin becoming the leader of the Hand? That'd be wild. Probably to a different city, but he will come back for Spider-Man 5 or 6 to take over New York again. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's all we want. When the panel starts, the panel just ended, actually. The panel just ended about 30 minutes ago. Maybe a little less than 30, maybe 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. I think Fisk can't stay with power forever after Season 2. No, he can't. No, he can't. He can't. But how many seasons are there going to be is kind of the question. Like, if they're planning on doing 3 to 4, you might be able to stay in power till the end, right? If they're doing, like, 6 or 7, which I would love, but that's very optimistic, then nah, he probably wouldn't stay the mayor of New York or like the kingpin of New York for all 7 seasons, I don't think. Then it just gets like boring and redundant sort of at that point. I don't think there are any panels confirmed soon. When is... I think the next possible anything could be CCXP, which is December 4th to December 7th. Let me see if there's any announced panels for this yet. I think Sony usually does something here. But I've never tried to look into these panels before, so I don't know if they have announced panels yet, because it's also like 2 months away. Possibly CCXP, there's something. I probably wouldn't do a stream for any of it, though. And then there is San Diego Comic-Con, which I'd bet so much money on Marvel Studios going to San Diego Comic-Con next year. Because, 1, they didn't do it this year, and 2, there's an Avengers movie next year. But yeah, San Diego Comic-Con is July 23rd to 26th, so probably July 25th will be that Marvel Studios Hall H panel that they typically do on Saturdays. But also, there's a D23 next year. Like an actual one. This year is just Destination. This is like an actual D23. From August 14th, 15th, and 16th next year, which will most likely have a Walt Disney Studios showcase panel with Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. So, there's a little bit of a wait, but once that happens, it's go, go, go. Have you played Daredevil Marvel Rivals? I have. I love him. He's great. Just having so much fun playing Daredevil. They wouldn't promote Doomsday and anything after the year after. Yeah, at San Diego Comic-Con, yeah. My theory is Daredevil knocks Fisk down a peg, but Fisk reveals Matt's ID and throws Matt in prison, which is where Elektra comes back as Daredevil for Matt, while MIA from the Chip Zdarsky run. I can see that happening. I just don't want Elektra back. I do not like Elektra in the show. At all. And I think you agree, right?
She wasn't my favorite. I wouldn't mind seeing her back.
Okay.
Not as much as you, I believe.
Yeah, I just really... like, season 2, when they don't cut to Elektra, so good. And then when Elektra's there, it's the worst of any Daredevil show. Jaeger, just joined Soleil. Can you give me a roundup of all the news reveals so far? Yes. Yeah, I'll give one more final roundup and recap. And then we'll call it a stream. So, it started with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man announcing that Season 2 will premiere fall 2026, and that Daredevil will return wearing the classic red costume, with Venom also showing up in your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. Then, X-97 is premiering in summer of next year, and we got our first look at Apocalypse. Then Daredevil Born Again took the stage and showed a trailer for people in attendance of the panel that saw Karen and Matt kissing and dancing, Jessica Jones and Foggy in the trailer, and Fisk doing boxing. Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter were on stage. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 confirmed to be coming in March. We then got the trailer for Wonderman, which released on January 27th. Looks great. Really, really fun. Can't wait for that. Logo for Vision Quest, along with the confirmation... Oh, and a Wonderman poster. Along with the confirmation that James Spader will return as Ultron, but human form of Ultron, and the other AIs will come back to also in their human form. Friday, Edith, Dummy E, and Jarvis. Jarvis played by James D'Arcy from Agent Carter and Avengers Endgame. And we also got the confirmation that Rory Malika will play Tommy, WandaVision's son, in Vision Quest, the brother of Billy Maximoff, a.k.a. Wiccan. So overall, I really liked the panel. I thought it was a good news day for Marvel. Good Wonderman trailer. I had a great time during the stream. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. I appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. And thank you to everybody who tuned in and chatted and participated. I really appreciate you guys here. Like I said, these streams, these panel live streams and coverage streams are nothing without you guys here contributing and chatting. And being civil as well and respectful of everybody, that's always a great thing as well. I genuinely appreciate that every single time I do these streams, that people are just cool. You know, that's what I'm trying to build a community where people can come and celebrate their love for Marvel and DC and whatnot without worrying about toxicity and negativity and hatred in any way. So thank you guys for being here and chatting and just being cool people. I am still working on my 3D avatar for videos. I ran into some issues, and then I had to put the YouTube stuff on the back burner, unfortunately, for real life responsibilities and stuff, which really ticked me off, but what are you gonna do? But know that I am still working as much as I can to get everything for the videos all situated and ready to go. I'm trying my absolute best. I really wanted to get them done for this week so I can get the first video this week to carry the momentum from the stream, but unfortunately, it seems like that might not be the case. But I'll keep you guys posted on my community page periodically with the updates on that, hopefully sooner rather than later. But just know I'm not forgetting about the channel. I still have plans to do stuff. It's more front-loaded work, right? Because once everything is made and situated, then it's able to be easily produced. But I'm still working on things, so keep your eye out. I'll keep you guys posted. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, wonderful month, wonderful Halloween holiday. Be safe, everybody. Be kind. Thank you for tuning in. And remember to be punk rock.